Sharif enjoys his time with the Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my. Yeah, Sharif's making sounds in the back there. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have all a restful, long weekend. Everyone deserves it. I wish everybody the best with your 3 days off. We'll see you. I'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Sharif's at the big desk.
Welcome back, everybody, on the last trading day of the week. A shortened week, guys. The NQ currently in negative territory, about down 0.1%. It was quite consolidative on the day. The ES faring a little bit better, so you're down 0.19 on the NQ, but the ES, the overall market faring a little bit better. Essentially flat at the moment, up 0.1%. We've been keeping an eye on crypto as well, as Bitcoin finds itself right back above 70,000. It danced with about 71,550 earlier in the day. It continues to recover off that $64,000 dip. We have been talking about a lot of stuff today, and specifically we're going to build on crypto, as there were multiple headlines overnight with respect to MicroStrategies, and that precipitated a huge drop there in the stock. It's down over 10% on the day right now, losing about $191 in value. That is after Larry Fink, who went on BlackRock yesterday, made comments about Ethereum and his confidence that a spot ETF for the cryptocurrency could actually find its way on these markets quite soon, even if it is labeled as a security, guys. So crypto in focus today. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay.
All right, what's going on there? We were just discussing some of our positions. We still got $8. You guys can't see right now, but we're still short right now on NVIDIA as that continues to go to the downside. Yeah, thanks, Sharif. Sharif here. My mic is... My mic? Oh, pointed wrong. All right, Obi, go nuts.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, how's it going, guys? I still got to pull up this chat. So we're gonna be talking about crypto, I'm assuming. So let's go back to that coin. Coinbase. I did have this on watch in terms of a crypto name for the day, and let's see what it has been up to. I haven't really been watching it too much. Was watching it off the opening session there, but we've been doing pretty much sideways for majority of the day. But we were kind of talking about what was it? Some of these lows here, 250s as well. Nice little strong flush off the open, but today is just sideways and choppy. So let's take a quick look at what Bitcoin has been up to here. Last I remember around 69, 70s, and yeah, okay, so we're in and around that 70 mark still. So yeah, a little bit of volume on the day there, but pretty much sideways over the whole session, it would seem.
I'm just getting in and out of position, so now people should be able to see what I'm in. Okay, here we go. So we're starting to roll. Yeah, I mean, we looked at crypto there today. Did you actually just pull up a Bitcoin chart there? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, not much action there. I was going to look at maybe Coinbase. There were certain levels that we wanted to hit there. Something seems weird right now. Everything all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's
I don't know.
weird?
No, I feel like my ears, like, are your ears popped at all or anything? I don't know. It feels like, I was having weird echoey sounds in there. But no, so I was just thinking that Coinbase right here, 269, 270, was just thinking of those as some potential tops coming through, 268 and change, 269 all the way up to 270. You know what it might be? Me and Randy went and got that crazy brisket, and I think I'm all like...
Oh, yeah, how was that? That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I posted it up on... this is my Twitter feed. It has Sam Bankman-Fried just chilling out right here. 25 to life. No, just 25. So there he is. Oh, no, wait a second. That's a whole bunch of people. That's my actual... I did tweet that out. Oh, yeah. So here it is right here. This is me and Randy. We went there. You know, this is he and I. We're here. You know, busy place. We got the brisket. Yada, yada, yada. Just me talking. Who cares? And then at the end of the day, it was really good, man. It's just a lot of meat with onions, and it's just...
Oh, that sounds great.
Just like... Next time, we're just going to get it for everybody. We're just going to get it for app, because Ramin was like, yo, where's mine? And then there was this whole thing. So, oh, man. All right, so you know when you get the itis, it's just like, you're just like chilling out and everything. I'm not even in the right chat here.
Meat
I
sweats?
don't even know what day it is right now. Happy Good Friday to everybody tomorrow. Do we have Frank Caberna coming through today? Yes, sir. Okay. So that's that. Coinbase, I think around 270. We'll look for that short. We'll figure out what's going on with the rest. Oh, you know what? Here, instead of just being completely useless, let me just call up right now. Can you believe I get paid to do this? Isn't this great? So just coming through here, Bitcoin right now, let's hit a little bit of a refresh and see what's going on with some of these other coins. Solana up to 185. I mean, that high was in and around 211, I think. So still holding pretty good, not just today, up 2.6% this week. I feel like there's been some nice battles back. I got to give a big shout out to my guy Nimit because he mentioned Dogecoin, and I mentioned Dogecoin on the show, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, 40% in a week. Like, where did this guy get this information from? Shout out to my guy Nimit in the chat if you're still there. Tell me about Cardano. It would be nice if this one got going a little bit as well. So a few things that we're looking at right there. But overall, week to week, a good week for crypto. Bitcoin up 7.7. Ethereum on possible ETF filings and whatnot up 3. So good week so far for crypto. It's only Thursday. Let's see what brings the rest of the day. But it's nice to see it holding in and around 71.
Reddit on watch today, guys, as it had a great couple of days. Not so much today, down about 12% right now. Yesterday we got wind that there was a lot of insider selling. CEO Steve Huffman and CFO Valero Andrew both sold aggressive amounts of shares. The CEO selling about $41.25 million worth. The COO selling about $16 million worth. There was no blackout period for this IPO, and we know that they only put about 10% of the shares available for trading here, guys. Did you guys have a look at Reddit today?
Did not. Did you have a chance to look at Reddit?
Yes.
Obi did. I'm just trying to find out. I'm trying to get into the right. I'm just trying to get into the right chat over here. So what was it saying?
Straight fader. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. I just got a coffee too, but thanks, Randy. We just talked about our. Oh, I'm gonna need it? No, I'm feeling. Oh yeah, I get it. I was just saying I'm feeling a little like slow, that brisket was. Oh, that was so good. Good recommendation, Randy. I'll see you in an hour.
How far was this place?
How far? Oh, it's just a quick walk, man. Just by the subway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we walked up there. Let's go next time, man. It's just Randy and I had sort of planned that, and it was just one of those things. We knew it was going to be pretty busy there. So, all right, let me just get this all figured out. I'll move this coffee out of the way because now we have 2 of them, and we'll work from there.
All right, so Reddit, we were talking about this one actually in a little bit in the meeting as well. All day fader, right? And like, okay, a bit of a miss on my part for sure, where it kind of comes into previous days levels in the pre-market, and you attempt to push right back up off the dip. And it can't really get even past that opening price, or even this price action that happened off the open or in the pre-market into the open, and straight fade from there. So definitely a consistent selling happening right there on Reddit. So a little miss on my part back through that some of these levels here. So we saw that on that. This was the day where options kind of came out for Reddit.
Right.
We saw that it consolidated sideways. The next day, it broke the low of that consolidation, and we've been selling off since then. So a little bit of a continuation sell that I definitely was not watching until later on today.
All right, we have quite a big announcement to make here, so we are going to clip that because right now we just hit a banner number. Put a 4 and a 4 and another 4, and that is 444,000 damn subscribers. So I want to say a shout out. Good job, Obi. A shout out to everybody out there that made this possible. That's big, man. We're really happy with that.
We're almost at 500K. I didn't even. Wow.
Yeah, man. We're not 500K is just like that's. We'll get to that, and then bang,
That's the breakout.
Bang.
That's the breakout.
Yeah, man. That's the breakout level.
Yeah.
That is like. That's NVIDIA 1000. We get to
or
that.
NVIDIA 500.
We get to that.
Boom.
Well, no, NVIDIA 500 has to get down to 500. We're trying to get up.
No. When we got through that 500.
That's what I'm saying.
In the past,
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, Obi. Shout out to Neil. Shout out to Brendan. Someone named Ramin over there. Fabian. Shout out to Sharif Adara. And honestly, shout out to we've had Max in the back, like Yannick, everybody, BPI, everybody, Brankles, Wayne, everybody that's been on the show, because past hosts, we can go on. And just want to thank everybody for getting us. And of course, I make that announcement as I'm dressed like this. But hey, we got Trader TV. We're going to make merch great again. We talked about that as a slogan, so we possibly will do that as well very, very soon. But hey, a big shout out to everybody out there. We're talking about Reddit. Maybe there needs to be a TTVL IPO.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You want to go on the NASDAQ? You want to go on the NYSE? Where would you choose?
The DAC.
The DAC. I'm going with the NASDAQ as well. Yeah, let's get those NASDAQ. I like how you just said DAC. That was just like so cool. Okay. All right. Like this guy's the best over here. Maybe we'll pick the pink sheets first. All right. So what are we talking about? Reddit.
Reddit.
All right, $50. Yeah, we slept on this one today. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. Down 13%, and I mean, boom, there's the 200 period. Come on, we got to be part of that one, and we're not. So, not a great opportunity there. But yeah, Reddit still breaking lower. Look, I wrote down Reddit today, and it's funny because we just mentioned about Sticky Note Nation and some resources that we had on Twitter. But you can see right here, we wrote down Reddit right here. Insider selling, let's look at $60 for a short. You know, like that's what we wrote. It didn't get up there. We didn't get anywhere near 60. But we're going to have to look at that. Like if we start to make moves and we're right about those moves, we need to start looking at like pre-market levels and stuff like that to be able just to short and not worry about huge moves to the upside. Reddit, I think, is going to be done for a while. When you get CEO, founders, and all that selling, that's not a good sign this early in the process. So they knew their shares weren't locked up. They took advantage of retail, and that's what always is going to happen.
Classic.
So classic, honestly, pump and dump. I mean,
well, think about it. The market is a tool for companies to raise money.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you have
I
to
don't have a
understand
problem
the
with them doing
fundamental, like. Okay.
No, I mean, read that. Look, honestly, like, read the prospectus and things like that. Like ARM, we knew couldn't sell for 90 days. Like, you gotta figure out that kind of stuff. And then this is how owners, like you say, get liquid. Like, they have to cash out, and I don't blame them for doing that. Just wish we cashed out. No shorts for Reddit today, but that's fine. We've got a pretty good day happening over here.
All right, guys, there's a small cap gapper that just started going here, up 114%, just started midday, goes by the ticker NXL. Nexalin Technology shares are trading higher after the company announced results of a clinical study evaluating its Gen 2 tax device for reducing pain in veteran patients with mild traumatic brain injury. There you can see that big move up just came in. The volumes just started coming in at about 5 to 2. So just keep eyes on that if you're interested in trading small cap gappers. But on next on the watch list is Rumble, as they reported earnings yesterday as well. And it was a bit of a mixed bag. Let's be real about it. So the revenue came in a little bit below expectations. They did turn a profit, but it was lower than the street expected. The good news, though, is that there's more users on the platform. The issue with that, though, is they're watching a little bit less, and that doesn't spell well for advertising dollars. Currently down about 2.6% above the volume weighted average price. Did you guys have eyes on Rumble today?
Did not. He comes to me with Reddit. It's like, nah, Rumble. No, but we had talked about Rumble, and I think we had a good talk in the morning. And I was saying that we actually didn't mind Rumble at all. And the fact that they had come out and missed, we were actually thinking that it was a growth engine. And yeah, they're going to miss on sales. We kind of was hoping for a better sales number. They miss on that. They missed both sides. But the idea was they grew in their subscribers. So they lose on minutes watched, but then gained on subscriber growth. So that leads me to believe that whenever you can get a service business going, we like that. Obviously, I talked about the political implications this year of, a new media stepping in because there may be pushback to certain things that are posted by whomever that are politically, it's like my wife just mentioned to me something about how Instagram, and this is to do with Rumble, like how Instagram, they released a new update where I think you can have it's something like political news checked off versus on, and it's automatically checked off. Right, opt out. Yeah, there's something about that. Anyways, it's kind of just a little bit, it's a little bit, I honestly can't hear you, Fabian, unless you can't, the idea behind it is not giving people the exact information, kind of hiding that political side of things. So what I was going to say is that potentially a stock like Rumble fills some kind of a void there. That's all. So a push back in. The trade that I thought we could get was a 7 long back to 9. The lowest we got today off open was basically the open, so 775. So I think we want to buy Rumble down here in and around 775 and 780. So maybe the word I'm looking for is free speech. You know, I mean, you want to give people the right to choose to listen to and watch whatever media they so choose.
Yeah. I think I kind of missed out there on the Rumble trade here. Just looking back at it again in retrospect, right? Like wasn't really thinking about these levels in the morning, but after that action has kind of panned out, it does seem a little bit clearer here. Let's see how this looks on the 15. So yeah, so you can see it. It's not to me. It's not really as clear on the 15 as it is on like as a smaller time frame there. Like I like to use the 3. And yeah, just looking left, you can see that a little bit of a level here at that 780-ish, which kind of comes in on Friday. But take a look at this, very strong day on Tuesday. We kind of talked about this going into earnings, and look at that base that kind of happens right there at that 780. And then look at this dump that happens off of the earnings, and where does it find a little bit of liquidity to hold it up? Right there at that 780. Coming in on the day, look at all the wicks that happen back in. A lot of these candles just closing. Like I know a lot of people like to use the 1 minute, so let's take a look at the 1 minute as well. Yeah, so look, a little bit of a chop, but once you reclaim and then you claim VWAP, it seems like that 780 level might have been interesting. So I definitely agree with Sean there. That 780, 775 seems like a pretty decent level that's being held over the past 1, 2, 3 days as support, and maybe it's a little bit of a resistance turn support as well on a shorter time frame. But that 780 looking nice on Rumble.
Palantir next on the docket, guys, and it is not a good look for on the day. About 6% to the downside after Monet, Crespi, and Hart analyst Ben White predicted what he called a fall to reality for this name, saying that the price had gotten far too rich. He reduced his rating on the stock from a neutral to a sell and lowered the price target to about $20. And as you can see here, that precipitated a big move down on the name, breaking down well below that $24.50 that we started the day off in the pre-market, trying to hold above 23 here, guys. Did you guys trade Palantir today?
Yeah, we're in it right now, and it is a $1 winner. But, you know, we already gotten out of it. I talked about this trade with Big Patty Ice back there. And, yeah, like, we shorted it off VWAP. So when there's a gap, play the retracement back to OB VWAP. So there it is right there. You know, if I ever did a summit, this is what I would be saying. Boom, boom, trade that back, nail that to the wall, and all the way down. I'm going to get out at 23.20 if this comes back. Now, the debate right here that I'm having with myself is this a long? The market is now, we talked about Palantir. I mean, honestly, guys, not only do I have the hat over there, you can rewind when I said today, wouldn't be surprised if Palantir's down 6 or 7%. That was when it was down 1%. So we use DraftKings as an example here. Obviously, we should have held a little bit more, but Palantir just came in kind of as expected, honestly. So let's just now see if we can hold this level. I am debating along right now against, we called it 22. We had 2280, right? Didn't we? Wasn't that what it was before? We were talking about into here. Yeah, 2280. So this could be a long right now. Give it 20 cents the other way. So yeah, man, congratulations. If you had anything there on Palantir, it's a good trade. We're getting stopped out if it breaks 23.20, and that could be also a long take there as well.
Yeah, that Palantir fading off quite nicely there. I think that's a solid short there by Sean. Kind of coming back in, retesting that VWAP, kind of comes into that 24. And yeah, he's still holding some till 23. I definitely have to learn some of that. Holding a piece after taking some profits until it actually comes into fruition, right? And then you called out that 23 as well. And then look at the low 22.94. So been selling off pretty much all day underneath VWAP, quite heavy on the day. as well. Look at that RVol, a little bit of RVol there as well. 2x I'm seeing, so this thing does about a 62 on average 30-day volume, and then today's volume 51. But my RVol right now, the reason why it's 2 is it's taking a 5 period, so it's not taking a 14-day period kind of thing. But yeah, it's different preferences, but you can see it's a little bit of a continuation off of this sell-off that we've been having. That 25 half kind of comes in, doesn't really want it. Next day, you kind of wick, slam, consolidate all day sideways. Reminding me of a little bit of NVIDIA, how NVIDIA was looking yesterday, but sideways consolidation for the majority of the day. You come in, you just reject the low of that consolidation, and the sellers turn on, and we just continue all day down. I'm curious to know when that next level, okay, so there you go, right there, 22.92 is this kind of low right here, and is that what we hit? 22.92 is this low? And then 22.92 is 94 is today's low. So yeah. 2 penny difference from this previous kind of level here. It comes right down into it.
Good name. I think it's worth buying pretty soon.
I like Palantir.
All right, back over. Ooh, Chinese EVs.
Yeah, Sean, another day, another red day for these Chinese EVs, NIO, XPEV, Li, or otherwise. It's negative territory for both. NIO came out with a headline yesterday that deliveries were not going to meet expectations, about 3,000 cars less than projected on the quarter, and that sent the stock reeling. Today, XPEV can't be spared from any negative news, despite the fact that it's releasing its flagship SUV, the G9, as well as its P7 sedan. It's also looking at opening up new locations and expanding services. This is the car here, and I gotta tell you, it's quite a looker. We've known about it for a while. It's got a lot of good features, but the starting price is gonna be quite prohibitive and unlikely to find its way into North American markets. So we'll have to see if the Europeans can pick up the slack here and help sales, guys. Any look on some of these Chinese EVs?
All right. Yeah, thanks, Sharif. Look, I mean, I think all the cars look pretty nice. I mean, you know, you can't really... The main problem with trying to do some of this stuff is it's hard to base your decision on how some of these vehicles look because, you know, we've seen some pretty wild lookers. And I actually thought the Fisker Ocean was pretty nice, and we've seen that one go bankrupt. But look what's happened to NIO here. I mean, you tell me, Obi. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, add 13. I mean, this may be 13 straight down days. Why isn't my zooming in working? Oh my God. Oh, what just...
That's the candle fattening button.
It's not F11. Oh man, excuse me. I'm getting angry.
Alt F4? No, I'm joking.
No, you know, I think it's because I had the RSI. But anyways, I'm gonna get that out of there and figure that out. But the end of the day here, I mean, the trend is definitely your friend on a move like this. It just keeps on going to the downside. We're making lower lows as we go. I think it's worth a break at 450. Honestly, I mean, if you're going to break 450, you might just be able to get 5 cents the rest of the afternoon, but it probably is worth a trade. Obviously, if you're sitting there trading at home or somewhere else, 5 cents is not going to work for you. But if you are with real trading, then I do like that play. I always say let's go back over to Tesla. Earlier on today, we talked about Tesla down here at 176 and that we liked that level. It did break through at about 10 o'clock and got as low as 175.80. You know, it was a great move back up. We missed it. We're in an $8 winner here with NVIDIA. I mean, I'm debating covering if it doesn't break through 900. But right here, this is probably another long. You know, as long as this day is going to sort of get us into the rest of the... Because we have Easter, right? I mean, the market's closed tomorrow. We're back open on Monday. I'm not sure there's going to be much action here this afternoon. So if that's going to be the case, I feel like we buy Tesla down there at 176. So let's be patient, stick out for that. If Tesla comes down to 176, I like that play. I'm going to remove RSI off here and then see if we can't get this fixed. But any thoughts on any Chinese EVs over there, Obi?
Yeah, I think I was just, XPEV was one of the ones that looked interesting in the morning. Didn't really look back at it right there, but take a look at that, man. Straight fade off of the open, kind of a similar story there. And that pre-market session quite flat, defining some interesting levels there.
Really weird.
That 8 and then the 830 as that high come off the open. Can't really even make it past that VWAP, that gray line that you guys are seeing. And look, a little bit of a similar behavior over the past multiples of days. So yeah, okay, so when was this? It was pretty choppy before, but then look at that. A little bit of a VWAP respect starting from last Thursday. Can't really get above it. Next day, gap down. Can't really get above it. Next day, sideways. Can't really get above it. The next day, more of the same, and comes in today. More of the same. How much more do we need to see? Maybe it'll act different tomorrow, but doing it 5-6 times in a row, definitely a little bit of a sell side pressure here on specifically XPEV, and we saw how NEO's been kind of trending down as well. And I think Tesla with the pullback you were saying, a little bit. Let's check it out on the daily chart here. Yeah, so a little bit of reds for the past 3 days, but yeah, kind of sideways it would seem. So not as downtrending as some of those Chinese EVs, it would seem.
Yeah, there's been a couple names that we've wanted to look at on the China side of things. Yeah, I mean, one of them was Alibaba. Alibaba, thanks to in the chat there, what's up, Elon, mentioning Baba. You know I like that name, and we've been trading this name for a minute, so let's look back. Let me just, first of all, before we go over to Alibaba, I mean, Alibaba's just a really nice move up today, just grinding higher. But again, these names get kind of sour. Like, now what is up with this daily chart? What? Okay, hold on a second. Oh, no. See, now I can't even zoom in or anything. Oh, no. What has happened over here? This has been quite the nice move in my charts. All right, now I have to figure that out. But anyways, Alibaba here. Am I able to zoom? Okay, I'm able to zoom out of this one. But not much movement coming into the end of the day here. We've seen that with some of these. I have to find out why some of the Chinese ADRs. I know the time. It's not, you know, the best time. Isn't it 12 hours? No, 20. What time is it right now in Hong Kong?
I will let you know in 2 seconds.
12 the other way. Isn't it in the morning now? Anyways, we'll find it out. But anyways, a lot.
2:26 a.m.
Right, 2:26 a.m. Right, so it's the other way. So yeah, so that would make sense. Why you get a lot of slowness, maybe potentially in some of the Chinese ADRs in the afternoon. We see it every day. I mean, you can go over to some of the most liquid names that we've seen with. Oh no, with Alibaba. Oh my God, NY, there it is. Over the last couple of days, I'm still, in the afternoon, you get big moves in the morning, and then look at the afternoon, right? Like we're not, you know, these are the bigger moves. This was a nice one. The market crashed that day. That was Wednesday. And then there's a nice move down again, I guess. Okay, I mean, there's been some movement to the afternoon. Doesn't seem like it ever wants to go up, though, maybe only down. We've been looking short in the afternoon, and I'm thinking about that right now because the TQs are bouncing around some levels, but that's Alibaba. The reason why I'm not getting out of NVIDIA is because I am thinking short in the market. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But we just bounced again off of 902. Is that not silly not to get out? I mean, we shorted up here. It's a green name for us. It wasn't before this trade. We talked about that. What about just putting a bid here at 902, calling it a day? That's 901 down there. Let's go to 901. Let's go to 901, get this out on NVIDIA, and be pretty happy with that. And then if it breaks lower, we can even hit the low then again. We can go lower with it. We can bring that trade back in. So, all right, so let's do that. 90, you know, I'm okay with the 901.50, 902 area. So let's put that bid out now for NVIDIA, 901.55 or so. We'll put that bid in there. If we're lucky enough to get it, great. That would basically be the low we've seen all afternoon. Well, let's go to 902. All right, let's put a bid at 902 flat, whatever. We'll take that. I'm not going to fight for 50 or 60 cents on this name. You know, when you're moving like this, when the spread is honestly 25 cents, you're lucky enough to get hit down here anyways. We've sat and got missed, and then we're like, oh man, we got missed. But realistically, it has to print a whole lot. Like what? I don't mean a whole lot, like one lot, which is 100 shares, in order for it to break through that level. When you see this 51 up there, that means there's 100 shares there. At 60, there's 100 shares at 90. So a lot of the time, if you're looking for real liquidity, as you know, Obi, as well, there's so many dark pool prints that go in between those level ones that sometimes when you're charting, and this is the other thing about charting names that are higher price value, when they have big spreads, you'll look at it and you'll say, oh, if it breaks 909.50, I'm going to get out. But realistically, that break of 909.50, if you're trying to punch out, you might have 50 cents plus as a stop order there because of the liquidation. So anyways, that's something that we're dealing with. We should have Daniel Shea on the market recap show today. So
oh boy, okay.
I'm going to talk to her about brisket. You know, but she's from Kansas City, you know, she's down with that, lived in Texas and all that stuff. So we're going to find out all about brisket with Danielle Shea. And I'm going to talk to her about some plays that I have in mind. And we're going to go over the earnings board in a couple minutes as well.
Yeah, nice. I'll be waiting for that one there. I'm looking at Apple as well. Apple kind of distinctly different than some of the rest of these names here. Sure, Alphabet's curling a little bit, Nvidia's sideways, Softy a little sideways as well. But the curl is definitely a little bit more prominent on Apple, it would seem. What's the opening price here on Apple? Let me just quickly look that up. Okay, so the opening price was 171.75, and we just now broke that. So yeah, so let me just take CCL off of my main screen here, and let's go take a look at the tape on Apple real quick, because I want to know what we do if we're going to continue this little bit of strength here back to the upside here. So is Apple going to lead? NQ's kind of near the lows, and yeah, take a look at that nice little grind back up. So breaking some of these intraday resistances, breaking back above VWAP, kind of pushing back. Is that the opening price? 171.75. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we did just kind of break that. So I guess that dump was kind of came in the pre-market. So what is that level? That level is 172. I was thinking that's the open right there. The 172.20s, it would seem, is where that selling kind of started to accelerate and then comes in through the open. A little bit of kind of a. I've noticed this a few times now. I don't know. This is more of a question to you. Whereas like, if the price action in the morning going right into the open, it kind of has like, it's almost like they can't wait to sell. Right?
Right.
Or like the selling pressure is so great that it just happens like at 27 or off the imbalance, and then you get that. How often is it that you get that continuation right off of the open?
Yeah, that's
versus like sometimes maybe it doesn't and does.
I feel like there's a counter move more often than not.
Okay.
Like there's a big sell pressure because we can see that. So if you see NVIDIA with like a sell of 500,000 shares often,
right,
that will just force it down sort of in the pre-market.
Okay.
Then that momentum can continue, but then it dries up because eventually the people stop or the traders say, you know what? It's gone down too far, that opening sort of push down. And you're going to see it. Remember at 350 when those imbalances come out,
right,
and then they normally flip at 355.
Yeah.
It's because they get worn down, right? And so
okay,
obviously one is market on close, so those shares don't actually transact until 4 o'clock. These ones transact immediately at 9:30. But Obi, a little market tidbit here for many people. Sometimes if there's a big imbalance on New York, it won't print right at 9:30.
Yeah.
So they'll hold it until they can find enough liquidity. Generally, those are the ones that you'd like to look for. The ones that have been halted.
Delayed at NYSE ones.
Yes, late NYSE ones. Well, we even know here on the floor, right? If there's a late print on a NYSE order, it's because it's probably going to be a significant move. All right, I'm trying to find out what's going on with my daily chart. So in the meantime, let's go over and find out. And I already know who's reporting tonight, and it's not the most fancy of names.
What stands out right
It's too bad Neil's not here because his favorite energy company is on the board.
Semtech? Is that an energy?
Semtech, yep, close.
I'm looking.
Keep looking.
Pineapple.
Yep.
I see what you did there.
Pineapple Energy. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
That's Pineapple Energy on there.
Nice.
That you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Right.
That was clean.
That was pretty good. Yeah, Pineapple Energy's on there, so we'll have to trade that. And we will all bring that up to Neil. He's going to be so upset that he's not here for that. And then I'm just looking over here to try to find some more names that we may or may like to talk about. So on that note, thank you so much for those earnings releases, and there's not much on there. You had Walgreens today, which was a big one. We'll find out if there's anything else kicking around, but again, we're gonna have Danielle Shea on, and I'm gonna talk to her about some plays that I have in mind myself. We had a nice move on Adobe off earnings, which we've talked about buying those dips. So far, so good on that one. We'll talk about some of the pullbacks here recently, maybe in NVIDIA, and how we can sort of cover some of the positions if you wanna hedge against some of your longs. There's some people that will write options based on their current position, so you could hedge it that way. We'll find out if there's any magic there. All right, so we talked about Palantir possibly going long off that bottom there. Now my daily chart won't even load, so that's cool. So this could be it. We just might have broke that little level there on PLTR. If the market wants to hold, the problem is sitting here trying to play the market's going to be a tough sell for me because I'm of the belief right now that we're not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot into the close. We're well under VWAP. We're holding it. I do not see us. We could drift up here, but I don't really see like a major drift happening. We'll be able to get out of any of our shorts, I feel like, if that happens. But if we're going to play a name here, what about a retracement back for PLTR? But again, does it have enough energy in it? Now I have that pineapple energy on my mind. like if we, what I'm trying to deal with here is if we're going to get out, maybe we have to get out if it comes all the way back to 23. That's 20 cents. That might be too much. Back into here is not bad, but then we don't want to fail off the 200. Let's just try this. If we can get something back here to 2015s or so, and then maybe even just use 95 there, the bottom of the day as our out, that could be something. But then we're going long on a name that's been weak today in a market that's not doing anything. Okay, I'm not going to trade Palantir. I'm not going to be in that name just because it's a show favorite. What I was looking at again was the TQs. I saw Dara trading this. I saw Sharif trading this. We do have Frank coming on as well. Again, if we can get up to, I just don't know if the market's doing anything, Obi. Like, look at this.
Sideways.
You know, and you said this before, and I was like, nah, man, we really, we'd like to find some trades, put some on. And you're like, well, why would we put something on if we don't see anything? And I wonder if that is the case. Does anybody have anything in the chat? All right, so I'm already in this NVIDIA trade. I'm still holding a third. If this comes back up and takes the 200 period, unfortunately, I think we may just have to tap that out. I mean, it's starting to turn down in. We would have already held the 50 period here. That means we would have taken VWAP. So I'm thinking about a 906 out, which still gives me $4. I mean, we got to be happy with that if that's going to be the play. We did max out. I'm not going to take the bottom. I feel like the real play, if I was going to be more conservative right now, I would probably take this out at 903, like right into here, 903.50. Something like that, and not wait for that bottom. So I feel like that's worth the risk. If I was flat right now and I was thinking about going short, this would be my stop. So let's think about that. So I'm now going to cancel my NVIDIA stop right now and put it right here at 906. The guy's getting excited over there.
Yeah,
no, I like it. I like that. I like that. All right.
What? What was that? Okay, anyways.
You could say, fine, Ramin. It's fine. But regardless if I didn't get it this time,
I need to
now I
earpiece.
may
I'm
not
not
get
hearing
it next
half
time.
of this conversation.
Nah, whatever. She's so lucky I like her. It's crazy. Okay. No, Sharif.
Getting some FOMO here.
You're also not invited to the party, apparently.
Oh, okay.
No, they're having a good old time up there. And I was just like, oh, man, they're having a great time up there. And then she's like, oh, I'm not invited. And so it was just like, and then she said, yeah, she's an evil one.
See, I'm more of a
Grinch.
More of a more of a stay at home, chill out kind of guy. Don't often, go to parties, but not as often as.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're gonna go to a party, it's good to come, late, well dressed, get in there, slip it in.
Fashionably late.
Figure that out. Okay. Oh my God, my kids have another. How many school trips do my kids get? Like, where are they even going? Oh the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Hello.
Nice.
Man, these guys are living the life. My kids are going to the symphony.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got the market recap show, then I got to go home. My daughter's in a tournament in Brampton tonight, so she's going to go there, and I got to drive my kid to South Etobicoke, my son, because we're at double hockey tonight.
Wow,
Wife
that's
north,
rough, yeah.
I'm south. Then tomorrow on Good Friday, the tournament continues. So we've got another 2 games tomorrow, one at 10, one at 3. What's that? Maybe I'm not invited to the party again. And then
It's okay. We'll have our own party, Sean.
yeah. So yeah, and now they're going to the Toronto Symphony here. These guys is going crazy, man. I thought when I was in school, man, I thought like our trips were like, and my kids are in elementary school, I thought our trips were like to the public library and stuff like that. Like I think when we ever went to the zoo, by the way, shout out to the Toronto Metropolitan Zoo. That place is solid. Like if you ever want to go, take a date there, Obi, something like that, the zoo. No, I'm serious.
The Toronto Zoo.
Sick place.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been a while since
What's
I've
your
been
favorite
there.
exhibit at the Toronto Zoo?
It's been a while since I've been there. I honestly don't remember. I don't know.
Okay, what would be your favorite animal then to see?
I like cats, so I'm gonna go with the lions and the tigers, maybe the leopards.
They have some sick, They have a sick leopard enclosure there.
Nice.
Mine is the polar bear.
Ooh.
They have a really great polar bear enclosure there, and there's a couple of them. They just had a baby too, like a couple of years ago. It's so sweet.
Oh, the last time I went was in winter. They have like the winter thing.
Yeah, you can see right in, and they're swimming, and they're lounging, and they're just chilling. You might have saw me chilling earlier today as well on that couch over there. Okay, so let's get that trade on right now.
Yes,
Apple's gone back to the upside, so we're still in Apple, but it's just, you can see right here, it's not really, we had emptied this trade out. I was thinking about reshorting this into 172 now. So Apple down 0.8. It is starting to make the move up. We are creeping into here a pretty key level on the 20-minute here for Apple. I like this shelf right here for a short. So we broke it and we tanked. Now we're up here. This is about an hour straight to the upside, almost an hour and a half, running into the 50 period. There. Look at my screen, Obi.
Oh, yeah, blanked. It just blanked.
It was blank for a while there. It was blank for a while.
I looked over.
You got another garbage bag around here, Fabian?
I know it's in the contract.
That's how you know me and Ramin aren't friends anymore. She's sending her henchmen. She's like, yo, henchmen, go deal with this guy.
Go get it done.
This guy's on the loose. But anyways, yeah, great. I think this is worth a short here. So 172 coming in one more time. So, all right, 172.80. Look, anybody have any questions for Obi, man? You're going to be out of here soon.
Oh, damn, what time is it?
Because we got Frank coming
hour.
on, and then I got Randy coming through.
Right. As I'm about to punch into a position
That's
potentially.
okay. Explain the position you're looking for, maybe.
I mean, I'm looking at CCL here. CCL kind of keeps on. Look at this wick dance that it's been doing over and over again. Like there's clearly a little bit of a bid here. So I'm just waiting. It is the end of the day. We've made lower highs off of VWAP. Like, is it gonna crack? Is it gonna hold? Right, it's 20 minutes away from power hour right now. Time's right in front of me. Why am I looking over there? But yeah, so a little bit into power hour. So I'm just curious to know whether or not we hold or we kind of continue to do more of the same there on CCL. I was watching Apple as well. Apple pushing into that 172. Can it get there? WBA as well. Yeah, kind of coming in. Got stopped out of this position. I kind of added into VWAP, made a higher high. I kind of added there, maybe not the best decision, and then added more, and I'm like, well, take that off.
Okay,
that's clearly not.
Just quickly, there's a super chat here, and you had mentioned yesterday, I saw someone in the chat, you were talking about MSTR, I think, yesterday in Bitcoin. Was there someone? Yeah. So we have a super chat right now about MSTR. Did you have any looks at that right now?
We can take a quick look.
Yeah, we'll have Apple. We'll have Apple. I just saw Apple here. We'll have Obi talk about that. We just got into some Apple as well, so we'll let Obi. Thank you so much, Ron Miller, there for the super chat. We'll look at MSTR. I'll have Obi look at that in a second. We just got into some more Apple. I am going to take that 172. I actually like that it's the 50 period. Normally when it's sloping up, I'll stay away. But we'll take a little small piece right now and see what happens, hopefully to the downside right now. So we'll see if that's going to hold out right now. We just shorted 71s, or what was it? 71. So we just shorted 71s here on Apple. I feel like that 56 looks pretty good, so let's put a bid here at 60, see if we can get that. We'll take a quick 10 cents, just real quick on this, if we're able to, and then hold the rest. So we'll get out of like, whatever, a little piece here, and then if we continue to go down, then we'll have something for when we get back. But, okay, just real quick, Obi, on MSTR. I see that looks like there's a nice little top there.
Yeah,
we got it out of Apple, by the way.
I'm curious, does this name have like a ticker like NVDL, like NVIDIA does? Because I would love to trade this ticker here, but a little bit rich for my taste in terms of, or my risk in terms of how the spread and how it kind of moves there. But yeah, beautiful kind of consolidation flat in the pre-market. Look at previous day, kind of a compression, maybe you want to call it a pennant, whatever it is, a bit of a price compression. There's CCL breaking down. There's my alert. Hey-yo. So CCL fresh low on the day. 45 was the low. So kind of going to watch that continue there. But yeah, that VWAP is holding as a resistance off of the open there. So we did break through yesterday's low. And is this week low? What's Monday? Okay, so Monday we had that strength coming up. So that consolidation, okay, boom, right there. So that might be coming in as well. A little bit of a Tuesday low. We broke that Wednesday low. So we broke the previous 2-day lows, and then still Monday was quite strong. So maybe this week is shaping up to be a little bit of a doji. Let's take a quick look at what that looks like. But yeah, so that's what I got on. That's what I got on MSTR.
Good, thanks for that, Obi. So I think Randy's coming by. So if he does come through, I mean, he could always get busy with his real job. So Randy will be here most likely then.
Yes.
And so I want to thank you, Obi. Thank you so much. I know you're going to be on the midday next week, but go enjoy, obviously.
Adobe show all week next week.
I heard about that one. I like that. Adara and Obi. Yeah. The Adobe mid-show.
There he is.
Oh, no. He's here a bit early, but he's ready to go.
What's up?
Look at this guy. Are you all right from the brisket here? We'll talk a lot about that. Yeah, I'm in nap zone now as well. But let's go back over. Hey, Frank, you ever had any good brisket there in Chicago? It's Frank and Sharif.
Grabbing a coffee.
All right.
All right, guys, it's time for Frank Cabernet, Director of Strategy at IGUS. Just before we go on, Frank, have you had good brisket lately or what?
Not lately. I guess in the U.S., Texas, good brisket. I feel like North Carolina also might do the brisket right, but I've not had that. I haven't in Texas. In Chicago, there's a couple of spots, but I get the feeling that they don't stack up to some of these other places around the U.S. Chicago, more of it's more Italian, pizza, pasta. Good Italian American cuisine, not so much on the barbecue front, but yeah, I guess I need to get to Toronto.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You should have seen Randy and Sean elbow deep in that brisket today on the big desk right here while we were doing the show. Wasn't hungry at all, Frank. But no, let's get down to business. We're talking gold today, and we've got PCE coming up tomorrow. A big event took place today. Gold hit an all-time high. It's been aggressively pumping up here for the last 3 years, propelled by a number of factors, Frank. Let's get to it.
Unbelievable price action we're seeing here in gold today, and to your point, the last few years. You had the huge rise leading into and after the pandemic, gave back a little bit, especially as the U.S. and global central banks hiked rates there in 2022. You see that dip, and gold tends to be inversely correlated to interest rates. It's a non-interest bearing flight to quality. And so if I'm going to flee to quality, I'd rather own a high interest bearing treasury than a non-interest bearing gold. But now it's interesting, Sharif, that the interest part of it is kind of being thrown out because if anything, we're getting some indicators in recent months that the U.S. might not cut interest rates as much, and globally, places like the ECB and other central banks, they're still talking about cuts, but they're not maybe talking about as many cuts as we were in November, December timeframe. And so a lot of this gold action, and yeah, you have here the Fed projections, which I wanted to bring up, not necessarily to say, oh, much has changed, although the odds have gone from around 75% chance of a cut in June down to 64% chance. And this is in the same time that gold has gone from around 2,100 to smashing 2,200. And this is just to say that interest rates and Forex are doing their own thing right now. Stocks, obviously, it's doing its own thing. The gold and commodity asset classes in general are going crazy right now, and it seems to all be geopolitical. Crude oil, as we speak, hitting another year-to-date high of beyond $83 a barrel for WTI. I think Brent might be at $90 a barrel. And yeah, gold, not just getting through 2,200, but now edging closer to 2,250. It seems to be all geopolitical to me, and that's why I bring in that interest rate piece, because gold, as well as stocks, most asset classes, not really caring about interest rates right now.
Frank, is it fair to say that gold has become less of an inflation hedge and more of a volatility, geopolitical tension type hedge, a general store of value, Frank? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, these things are changing constantly, right? Like the context is constantly changing, the correlations are constantly changing, but I can't help but at this point in time throw cryptocurrency and gold in the same bucket, to your point, as almost a hedge against either geopolitical strife or government, whatever you want to say, more so than a hedge against inflation or something that's maybe more structural or something that you never know where interest rates or inflation are going. But I feel comfortable saying that that's more of a known unknown as opposed to what's going on right now, what's pushing these markets around. It feels like more of an unknown of just how bad or how far will the Russian-Ukrainian war or the Middle Eastern war, these things escalate. That's really what feels like it is driving it. And gold was moving off of interest rates almost entirely for the last couple of years. And so this switch can flip at any point, that it can go from the geopolitical piece to the interest rate piece, and those correlations can kick back in. But right now, and I just crunched the numbers for us, I should have thrown it on one of the slides here. We're seeing some of the weakest correlations between gold and US dollar and US interest rates or currencies and interest rates in general, because it seems like gold, and I bring in crypto because it seems like crypto is also seeing almost like a flight to quality bid on some of these days where the unknown unknowns are popping up.
Frank, a lot has been made about this soft landing and wanting to be able to get interest rates right, but that's been a bit of an elusive target, with especially the economy being a little bit stronger than anticipated. We got another GDP print today. It was a little bit higher than expected. The American economy is far outperforming the Canadian economy. You guys are printing a three figure. We have sub 1, sadly. So how does GDP factor in?
Yeah, and you saw the stronger than expected GDP here in the U.S. by 0.2 of a percentage point here today, staying consistently above that 2% marker here for the last couple of quarters, where, as to your point, and Canada shouldn't necessarily feel bad when you compare to some parts of Europe and some parts of Asia that were doing super well. Everybody globally had the really good rebound from the pandemic, right, in 2021 and parts of 22 there. That's why inflation ended up escalating, and that's a story for a different day. But the U.S. is really outperforming a lot of these other global economies. And that's what's funny to me is you had the hot GDP number today, which would potentially correlate to, and has, we just showed you the interest rate numbers there, and the gold price chart is perfect. Keep this up because I'll speak to this in just a second. But the GDP number that comes out should be indicative of interest rates staying higher for longer, right? A hot GDP number is essentially the same as a hot employment number or a hot inflation number, which is to say, hey, the U.S. economy is still, rolling here, and interest rates maybe shouldn't be moved lower until we know that the inflation and everything is under control. And you saw gold and U.S. dollar and all the asset classes move in that direction for about 30 minutes to an hour. Gold went and traded at its session lows right after that GDP number came out, and then completely did away with it. You could see the climb all the way back to the highs and then new highs on the session right after. And we've been hanging on to those highs through the precious metals futures close. And it's really interesting to see, because the interest rate side of things did move off that number, and actually keep that in mind. Like I say, the odds of a cut coming in June, which is the projected first cut for the Fed, went from 75% chance down to 64% chance in the last week. And interest rates are higher on the day in the US off of that GDP number, but markets like gold and crude oil doing away with that. So you're seeing the inflation and interest rate and Forex story happening over here, and the gold and crypto and crude oil story happening over here, but they are not correlated at this point in time.
Interesting how that's happening. I've never seen that personally. Frank, we got the dot plot last time from the Fed, and it was still projecting 3 rate cuts. There was a little variance between the one that we got in December. But tomorrow we get another very important print, ironically on a day off. We get PCE. So what is the factor here that we need to consider, with especially having heard Jerome Powell's last speech where he said he didn't overlook the higher January number. He knows about, he tried to associate that with seasonality. The February number can't really do that, but should we be concerned here if we get a higher print tomorrow?
Well, I think we should be concerned that, yeah, it's a day off, a market holiday with a major data release. Man, that's weird. And it frankly kind of, it stinks for traders of those markets, but it maybe shouldn't be a worrisome number the way that it's projected. It's projected to come in at 2.8%, which would be a great print. And keep in mind that PCE, this is the number that Powell really likes. And given how the March FOMC went, which was definitely interpreted as being a little bit more dovish than expected. To your point, the dot plot still saying, 3 rate cuts, 3 to 4 rate cuts this year. And Powell saying explicitly cuts coming at some point this year, confirming that. And it might be that he's more confident in that because he's looking at this PCE that's been printing in the 2 handle. And this is core PCE at 2.8%. The headline PCE number is, I believe, at 2.4%. And so really his favorite inflation metric is very close to 2%, which is where central banks want inflation. And so maybe that's why he's confident in the potential for rate cuts. That being said, if this number prints 3% or higher, then it's a really fearful number. Then it's something to fear. But if it comes in as expected, it should be a relatively bullish for stocks and bearish for interest rates and U.S. dollar coming off of that. But it'll be a really interesting number for both sides of that potential coin.
I want to digress for a second, Frank, if I can, because you brought up a really good point. You made the comparator between the headline and the core PCE and how the headline came in a little bit higher than the core. So with respect to the core, are we seeing shelter inflation here cause a bit of a, I don't want to call it an artificial increase, but is it one of the lone variables in there that's keeping it high? And my question to you is a bit loaded. The reason I ask that is because, well, shelter inflation is high because interest rates are high and is keeping mortgage rates high, et cetera. Is this a bit of a vicious circle here, Frank, that the Fed finds itself in?
And I think that's part of the reason why Powell is a little bit more strong in his conviction for their plan to move interest rates lower. I think you nailed the fact that the central bankers see the parts of inflation at this point that are remaining sticky, that are keeping, like you said, the certain parts of inflation that are higher than others have been over the course of the last 2 years, that are keeping us from that 2% print that everybody wants, as being parts that are potentially in their control a little bit. To your point, it would be different if, energy costs and food costs, a lot of these other pieces that the Fed has a looser control of, were still printing 7, 8, 9% year over year in inflation. And I think, again, it goes back to that piece that he has been a little bit more confident than you would think, especially if you're looking at CPI and you were looking at employment for the first 3 months of the year here in the U.S., you would say, how the hell can they cut rates at this point, given how much strength you're seeing in those parts of the economy. But I think you're exactly right that at this point, the stickier pieces are ones that he feels that they can control, and thus he's still confident about moving interest rates lower. Now, again, out of nowhere, inflation can reprise, and we'll watch for tomorrow to see if they get that 2.8% or lower print. Of course, they'd love an even lower print, but anything up north of expectations could cause a little bit of a freak out, especially when we come back to the market on Sunday night or Monday morning.
All right, let's hope for an inline or lower print here. Otherwise, we're all going to pay for it in the long-term portfolio, I guess, in the short term. Frank, Director of Strategy at IG US. Frank Caberna, thank you very much for being on.
Thanks so much.
Have a good one.
All right, so not too many good brisket places in Chicago, and some good talk on gold. We've actually talked about gold a couple times here on the show, and obviously I don't like it as an investment, but you know, there are stores of value, and there are reasons to do that, especially if you're hedging against, you know, potential monetary moves and whatnot. And especially, I mean, I was actually on Tesla's website the other day, and their financing rate is 6.4%. I mean, it's probably been worse. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not in the 0 days. I don't know if Tesla was probably never a zero.
No.
Because back in the day, you could resell them. So people were lining up to buy the Tesla,
Yeah.
drive it around a bit, and then eventually, you know, resell them. Someone asked me in the chat if we were short. Thanks, Frank, by the way.
Thanks, Frank.
What the? Okay, so NVIDIA, unfortunately, it just happened right now. Darn it. All right, so we'll take that money and run. So we're now out of NVIDIA. You know, we did give it up. Like I said, a more responsible out could have been 903. We'll take a 906 break right now. Just happening. That sucks that we're out of it. But, you know, it didn't break lower where we thought it would have. So that's too bad. Right before we got on with Frank, we were down at 902. So that kind of sucks to be a part of that, but we are. All right. Now, that trade's done. I mean, NVIDIA's a good trade. I'm not disappointed with the end result, but not disappointed with the way we traded it. Because I feel like we got some really good trades in there. And again, we already got out of the majority of that trade. All right. Apple is a new one here against 173. We talked about, or 172, sorry. We talked about it coming back into this level. We also talked about, we probably should have got out of NVIDIA because I was thinking that this market was pretty dead. Remember, I'm like, I don't see any reason to go back to VWAP, but I still don't. Like, I don't know what that move was about right there. If anybody knows how the biggest move all day happens randomly when Frank comes on, like, I don't know what's up with that. Nice move to the upside. Apple's still a very negative name here. I'll short it. So we're short. So we shorted Apple up there. Maybe we should have got back into NVIDIA, but it's okay. NVIDIA's still where we are right now. I still feel like we want to reshort this at 910 if we can get there. So let's just stay focused on that as a play. Okay. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Hey, Randy.
How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. I mean, I just wanted to tell everybody that I didn't actually realize we're that close to getting stopped out of NVIDIA, but I'm happy with it. And new position there in Apple. And I forgot. You know, we were talking about Adobe, the midday show, but we forgot obviously to say Sharif's still here, so safe travels and best of luck, and I hope the experience, you know, is everything that you deserve it to be. So shout out to my guy Sharif there, and we'll wish him fun time when he's running around the safari trying to find those gorillas to fight. So no, but that's what I mean. He's done a lot of research on this, so. We hope that he has a big, successful trip. So,
yeah.
Shout out to Sharif. Taking off tomorrow. Kenya, I believe, and then landing, and then, yeah.
Wow.
Doing like a whole safari.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd have to bring my whole, like I was saying, I think he's going by himself, but, you know, to bring my whole family, like, my kids, I don't know. I don't. I think the wife and I could go to the safari.
But you've already ridden an elephant.
Yeah, that's right. You remember that in Busch Gardens.
That, yes. Imagine when you could ride in Africa.
The funny joke in my house is I called it an elefante or something like that when I was so small then. And it's not even that funny. All right, so
wow.
All right, yeah, safe travels to my guy back there. That is for sure. Okay, so all right, let's go do the IG ad read quickly.
This part of the show is brought to you by IG. Get as much as 50 to 1 leverage when trading Forex at IG. Currencies like Euro and USD can require as little as 2% margin rates and offer $0 commissions trading using a Forex account at IG. For a limited time, traders can open, fund, and trade with IG for up to $10,000 in funding bonuses. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, the chat, just so Sharif knows, the chat is still saying, like, good luck to Sharif and best
Hey, make
safe
sure you
travels.
ride an elephant while you're there.
Have a wild trip. Yeah, so it's Kenya. So I just confirmed all that.
gotta
I
be
heard
elephants
him
in
mention
Kenya.
that. So yeah, shout out to the big man
that's
over
crazy.
there. All right, see you, dude. See you, dude. He out of here. He gone. All right, thanks a lot, Sharif. We'll do our best to fill in. All right, so let's go. It's whether or not. Yeah, exactly. That's what we were talking about. He was talking about how some of the gorillas in the wild there, you can actually interact with them.
I'm not petting a gorilla.
That's what I said.
No, thanks. We
But-
were talking about the Chinese EVs and
Yeah,
how they've
let's go.
had
What do you
such
think?
a struggle because, there's over 100 Chinese EV makers. 100. So,
I did not know that. Actually.
I struggle to see how they can make profits when there's so much competition. But, Xiaomi,
Yep. Yeah.
they make phones
You got
and
the
all kinds of
phones.
other good stuff.
I almost bought a Xiaomi phone, and then I
check
realized
this
the
out.
Chinese government would be listening to everything I said.
They announced this.
Shout out to TikTok.
It's called the SU7. Tell me what that looks like. It looks like a marriage
Porsche.
between Porsche or maybe a bit of Tesla Model S.
I like
or-
the slope.
this is a
down.
good
look at
looking
that.
car.
Yeah, the hood looks nice.
70,000 US.
I know. Remember, me and you talked about that. I just wonder about the tariffs that are going to get slammed on that. That thing's still got to come across. And it's not about it being built in China. I know I had mentioned that, and you said, well, the iPhones are built in China. The brisket's not built in China. You're okay with your stomach over there? I just noticed you're yeah, I know. It's still
That's good.
Yeah, it's still settling.
It's digesting.
Anyways, the idea behind that, I guess, is
If these
the
guys
import tax or the tariffs.
decide to start building here though, then what?
Look, you see my screen go black there? A brand new one went black.
Rob's not here.
Oh, well, would that matter? But the thing is that screen just went completely black.
It's a driver.
All right, Sebastian just said, ask Randy about the Xiaomi car, and then you just brought it right
So
there.
I haven't read much, Sebastian, on this. It's called the SU7. I don't know how many horsepower it's got. I love the look of it. Now, has Xiaomi built a car before? I don't think so. It's a good-looking. Look at that.
Chinese batteries
sexy.
catch fire for no reason. Have you heard of anything like
Okay,
that?
but there's Chinese batteries in your phone and in your watch and in your car and in your everything
Yeah,
you own.
I'm okay with it.
CATL, all these battery companies.
I think the
everything's
difference
made-
is, Randy, is that when you're buying something like an iWatch, it's a couple $100, maybe a little bit more than that nowadays. Or your phone is a grand, $1,600. You get subsidized by AT&T, Rogers, whomever. When you're putting down 80 grand for a car, it's kind of like, so my question to you is this, and I know we've done this before, is that where would you get that? Would they then have to set up a service base?
They absolutely would have,
Okay.
a service and support network here in North America.
NVIDIA back down.
For everything they sell, you have to. You can't, they're not going to Amazon it to your door and expect you to install it.
Covering
yourself.
some Apple here just to everybody. Yep, keep going. Yep.
So, the Chinese have really come around in the last couple of years, and look at this thing. Wow.
I think it's pretty nice. I mean, I like
That's
the blue
hot.
there. Shout out to that Pepsi blue that Sharif always talks about.
Yeah, so or Miami blue like Porsche does. I think, if these start showing up en masse to our shores,
Isn't that a problem?
no, it's good and bad.
But
it's
would
good
that be
for consumers
are we
because
selling
prices are
Ford
lower.
then? Like, what do we think?
So this is it. This gives the big three a whole lot of stiff competition in terms of
Because there's no more
price.
net advantage then for them to be production in the United States if we let these guys. I mean, look at Tesla. They've reinvented the
But
electric game here in the
I
United
think
States.
Tesla showed, how many years ago now, showed the rest of the world how it could be done, how it could be built, and now they're building them. Are they going to beat them at their own game for a lower cost, and is it an equally quality product? And time will tell. But this is a good-looking car. I mean, again, you've looked at VinFast and some of the other automakers that are not in North America, and they're building really good things. It's amazing. I was also looking at the commercial EV space because we always talk about EVs. We talk about,
Oh, right. Me and you talked about this. You're going to the vans?
well, because the vans, everything we own
Yep.
is delivered by a truck.
Truck.
The hat on your head, the groceries in your fridge, everything comes, either to your door or the last mile or the big box store
Yep. Yeah,
or
you're
your
right.
grocery
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
in
That's
a
why
truck.
I still like energy. I still like oil. Actually.
Right. And now we've got
NVIDIA.
vans. We've got electric FedEx vans. We've got the Amazon vans. Ford has an E-Transit. You can see it on my screen here. And then there's the E-Sprinter from Mercedes-Benz. And we never talk about commercial vehicle deliveries. And does anybody care? Meh.
No, not as much.
But you should. Because
I think it's a big margin business. No,
it's a big margin business, number one, and number two, if the couriers or the Amazon or FedEx, if they can lower, we just talked about the FedEx report this past quarter, if they can lower their costs by not buying diesel fuel and oil changes and all the other expensive things, and end up with one of these electric vans, would they potentially pass on those savings to you and I? Potentially.
So
I mean,
the thing is that these are Mercedes.
There's Mercedes.
Where does that come
there's
in?
Ford.
Where does that come in with Rivian? Because there's a lot of traders that here are looking at, and first of all, okay, I'm going to short again NVIDIA, by the way, at 906 because I want to get back on that train real quick. Right now, we did take some Apple profit, and I interrupted a little bit there to tell everybody that we did cover some down here at 86, 87, and then we put another bid here at 83 because the 50-period moving average. We're short at O's, so that just went 17 cents right back down. So yeah, we did take a bid there. Now Apple's trying to go back up to the upside here, as you can clearly see, and then there's our NVIDIA trade just coming in right now at 905.50. We are also waiting for 906. And then I just want to see if we take that. Let's see if we take 907.30. Honestly, all right, NVIDIA, I'll dance with you for a couple dollars here because, we've hit it here. We only screwed up here, which was fine. We wound up losing $3, but I'm fine with this. We hit this back short at 911. There's that Porsche number again, Randy. We hit that all the way down to 907. That's $5. We shorted again. We took another $5. Then we took another $5, and now we're back short again right now. So basically, NVIDIA's been a good trade for us. Let's wait till this level, 908 and a quarter. If we break 908 and a quarter, so what I do now is just so everybody can get in my mentality, which is not necessarily a good thing. I go short here and I figure out if I'm wrong, what's the damage? And I try to look at my net and figure out, am I willing to do that on this kind of a trade? So I like NVIDIA today. We've talked about it getting hit the last couple days. It has big moves to the downside. So now we're short. We're $1 in the money on this short already right now. But we're going to hold for a little bit more, playing off this 908.25. And by the way, Randy's also has full charts open. He's in TMS, though, so Randy won't be putting on any trades. But if you do have any questions or comments, Randy's in the chat for any specific stock talk. Just quickly, Randy, I'll give you a name to look at, RIVN. If we look at the chart here, you've been mentioning there's a case to maybe buy this on dips. Now, unfortunately, my day chart looks like bad word, A with some maybe squiggly lines in there, letters. But right here, this is what Rivian looks like, man. The all-time low is $10 made back in early to late February, early March. But we are bouncing off. I mean, this chart doesn't look that good, unfortunately, but down at $11. You just mentioned vans. So Rivian has that.
Rivian has the van contract with Amazon. However, you can buy a Rivian van. It's not just Amazon. It's not exclusive to Amazon.
Oh, really? Not on their website?
They want to. No, it's a commercial vehicle.
Right. Okay.
So you'll be, as a fleet manager, or if you own a courier company, you'll be able to get your hands on an electric Rivian van for yourself. And if you're a smaller than Amazon company, if you're a local courier and you can get one of these vans, no oil changes, no cost of fuel, diesel, whatever the normal vans run, now you can deliver these packages possibly cheaper. Would you pass that on to your customers? Maybe.
I mean, I'm even thinking though, even for our caterer, like you see the van that he rolls in?
Yes.
I mean, it's one of these. It's like a box van. He comes in a cube van there.
Yeah.
There they are on your screen. Is one of those the Rivian model or no?
Well, they're
all the Rivian model.
Rivian, but again, they're not just solely for Amazon.
That's an ugly van, no?
It's an ugly van.
I mean,
you're not gonna...
you know what? With the Amazon thing on it, I guess if you're noticing it as a as a delivery vehicle, I think it's okay. No, I've changed my opinion.
But it's
Look
not.
at that windshield. Like that's.
It's like a fish tank.
That's yeah.
It's not about style. It's about functionality
obviously, I would hope.
and reliability. And again, they're not just selling them to Amazon.
What do you think those go for? Have they had a price point on them yet?
I have not seen the price on that, but I imagine they're pretty reasonable. Again, they're not feature laden, but they've got enough toys in them to help the drivers get around to addresses and so forth.
Someone
but
just said 90K.
because everything you own is delivered by a truck, the coffee in your cup, the hat on your head, everything. If all these companies that own these fleets can get an electric version,
right.
especially the inner city fleets,
Right.
to lower their
I mean,
costs.
it's all about costs. I think.
Yes, and would they pass those costs on to consumers? Maybe not. But it's a huge potential to the market, and we don't talk about them lots because again, they fly under the radar. They're not a thing you see on the news. I mean, you might see. We're kind of excited here when we saw the FedEx ones, but what are you doing?
Disaster strikes.
Microphone issues.
Well,
Yeah.
our lady friend over there always
Uh-oh.
has something to say.
Ram.
So she sends henchmen over here, and then he's like, he's too
She's
scared
back
to come
now.
over here.
Look out.
There, no, it's fixed. See what happens? Yeah, just
to do?
friendship situation happening here again. I'm never wearing this sweater again because this seems to be a problem. I'm trying to promote a little bit.
The heck was that?
Jeez.
You're in trouble now. Oh boy.
I am okay. Next time, Randy, we have to get like multiple briskets because
Oh boy.
I've noticed what happens
I'll-
if we forget to get things for other people.
I'm a big brisket guy. I could eat brisket.
Oh
day and
man,
night.
I'm
Yeah.
still feeling waves from that.
It feels like a Friday.
Okay, yeah, it does. Well, that's why we're here, right? We're having a good time.
Having
All
a
right,
good
so we, we're back into this name. We can take pieces out. I mean, we have enough on board here to get this out at the 50-period moving average. Do we want to take this or not? I mean, the market is at VWAP. If we continue to go higher, we don't want to put an L on the board here for NVIDIA. So I'm thinking about taking that. What is that? I'll just take a piece. That's all. Now it's starting to go back up to the upside here. All right, let's sit at 50, and we'll see if we can get a piece there on NVIDIA. I mean, it would, Dad, literally be $1. So we'll see if we can get that right there for $1 on that, and then we'll hold the rest. So, let's party, right? Let's party like it's 2023. So you have any Easter plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see my.
2024. My bad.
I'm gonna go see my folks on the weekend, and yeah, family visits, Easter things. Tomorrow is the holiday.
Yep.
A day off, day to sleep in.
Yeah, it's
Get
nice.
some
Must
chores
be-
done around the
that must
house.
That must be real nice.
It's not snowing. Well, you got hockey and all that good stuff, but
Yeah.
you're on the road.
I kid about it because I love going to their hockey games.
Hockey's amazing.
It's so much fun. The hockey parents are absolute maniacs. It's great.
Yes, you are. You are.
I'm not one of them, of course.
You're not. Not the average hockey
Potentially, I
parent.
am. My wife is really, really into it. She volunteers in the change room to get all the girls ready and everything. So she's been having a blast.
That's awesome.
In there, it's been such a.
I'm just.
I still have. This is her right there. She plays tonight and then 2 games tomorrow. Then here's my son on the other side.
Superstar.
So there's my guy right there.
That's all. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's
That's
going
awesome.
to the game.
I love it. I'm just watching Ford bounce around here because, you know what Ford did this week?
Had a recall.
No, they did not announce a recall this week.
Bang!
They did not announce
Why do I own that?
a recall
stock,
this
man?
week. I was looking for one and I didn't see one. I might have missed it. But Ford's up just 1%.
Yo, what's up,
today.
Rational
So it was
Analysis?
a little
This guy
bit.
works at Young and Wellesley. Yeah, wonder where.
That's
I mean, you could Google where we are. We're right there, so you can come see us.
interesting.
Rational Analysis, come on, come through. You want to come through tonight?
that's crazy.
Come through.
Bring brisket
Yeah, just just bring me a coffee, 1 milk.
or coffee. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, bring Ramin whatever the hell she wants. You tell me, make sure you don't bring Ramin something. This guy's not getting in the building. I'll tell you that much. So what's up, Rational Analysis? You let me know if you want to swing by and ring the bell tonight. You see what we do here at
Yeah.
Trader TV Live. We are for the damn people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're around here. You come and ring that bell if you want. Okay, let's keep going here. NVIDIA is becoming, it's a little bit of a problem. Starting to go up to the upside. Of course, we are just flat right now on this trade. I'm going to put another bid down here at 905 now, because now we've got a little bit, of equity in the game right now, so a little bit of skin in here as we go. If we take this out, though, sorry, it's not even that level. So I'm not putting on, we're not about to ruin any days here or anything like that, okay? So this is just, I feel like NVIDIA falls. We'll put on one more piece here at like 908 flat, and then I have the stop up here at 908.50. That's 909. I don't even want to give it to all the way up here. We'll try something in and around here, 907. Then if we break higher, we break higher. It's not... And Obi had said this before too. It's like if something doesn't set up, maybe we shouldn't be involved. And we had just talked about the futures kind of making this move out of nowhere. We got Apple back in. Apple's still fine. Apple's 7 cents in the money. But NVIDIA is a completely different beast. I mean, we're out of the money $1 right now, but it's still fine. This is not a stressful situation. But, you know, we'd like to, every time you lose, you do lose.
I was on a Reddit forum, a subreddit? A subreddit.
You read it, yep.
And it not one that I'm normally in, and they were talking about NVIDIA deliveries and that there were some delivery, there's so much demand for
now we're getting
everything they make, from cards to, you know, Bitcoin miners to whatever, for their GPUs and their chipsets, and they were having, you know, delivery issues on certain models because they just couldn't get them out the door fast enough. So I'm wondering if that's going to affect their not long-term, but short-term outlook. So I'm going to try and dig into that some more over the weekend. Another little weekend reading task to take a look at.
For them.
Yes, there's absolutely crazy demand for their GPUs. And then the other one I'm looking at, of course, is good old XOM.
Oh, good old.
Look at this. They're up. Look at this. They're up 10% this month. And I'm going to walk back some of the comments I made on Friday because I thought the outlook for oil maybe wasn't that rosy. Again, turbulence in the Middle East and you know, issues here and there, but they've managed to get their costs down and their rig count up. And look at this climb in the last month. Like, this is fantastic. We're up almost 1.5% on the day. I'm going to change my thoughts on this just a little bit. This has been a good play, not only on the daily chart, but again, just even short term in the last month. This has been a fantastic run. I think, and I got some more research to do on this, I think they're going to be able to hold this trend for a while. So I like the look of XOM. Chevron, they're kind of tailing behind, but I really do like this. And as the summer driving season comes up, and you know, people get the toys out, the boats, and all the other good stuff, especially up here because we have winter. You know, the demand for gasoline and refined products goes up. With that, you've got refined product demand on their side. That's a profit maker for them. So I really like the short term, next call it quarter outlook for XOM.
So by the way, I just bring this to everyone's attention. So we shorted more NVIDIA, and we just covered some rate here to take out some risk. We are now starting to head back down in. So let's go. We are now short at 906.70. But again, this was an average out. So you could see the average prices at the bottom. We just got out there at 906.47. We did get that top short right there. So we're now doing pretty good on this position, but we do have an out down here right now. It's actually at 905, pretty much 905 flat. Maybe we'll change that to 905.40. I don't know if that really matters at this point. If it comes in good enough, we'll take it. Okay, so 905. By the way, Apple's coming back in right now, which is real damn nice for us over here as well. Let's go Apple. A nice move in.
Let's go charts.
Right now. Yeah, let's go charts. Let's go Apple. You probably put in the wrong code there. Tilray is NY. I know it's weird. Okay, there's a nice move down into 171 and change right now. Let's put another bid at 86 here for Apple. We have another bid down lower as well. Let's see if Apple can get going down to the downside. We have 30 cents in the money. Just hit enter again. TLRY.
I did.
NY. Oh no, it's NQ. What am I telling you?
That was NQ, but
yeah, it is NQ.
Doesn't matter. It won't load on.
Hit it again.
It just won't load at all.
TLRY.
I had it. Oh,
that's why. Okay, so here comes NVIDIA. So Rainey's going to obviously talk about some cannabis names in just a second. Right now, there it goes. We just wicked down to 905.70. All right, so that's okay. We have enough pressure now to come back in. It's nice to see that this is a Nice buy candle at the top with that wick. Generally speaking, when you see a wick top like that, you're going to want to see it with some kind of volume. So hopefully this pushes back down into the downside right now. Come on down, Apple. You're the next contestant on what's hopefully going to make Sean some money down into the downside. So we just get some fills down there. Still only a dime piece. Come on now. All right, come on, NVIDIA. Here we go. We're now $1 in. This position was against us, so obviously we're getting a little more excited right now about it, but we are bidding 905.55 right now. Randy, give me your lucky number.
14.
Okay, I'll remember that.
We talked on Friday, Tilray versus CGC.
I might just get out. This is, yeah, keep going.
You gonna get out?
No, because it's coming into my price. I just don't want to miss it. Okay, go ahead, yep.
And Tilray's been weak or weaker than Canopy. You had a comment to make that I don't think we finished on Friday.
Yep.
About U.S. I mean, they have a bigger presence in the U.S. Is it inflation? Is it the the weaker economy overall affecting people's disposable income that can't afford to buy or are buying less of Tilray's products versus CGC? Or why are they weaker in your opinion?
Well, we had talked about. Oh, man, damn you, NVIDIA. How did that miss me at 906.50 there? I feel like it printed through. Maybe we were just at the wrong penny. We just put the bid up there into the, all right, we're at 905.56. Hopefully that comes back in. Damn you. Okay, so the question was CGC versus Tilray. So let me just look at the market cap real quickly here because I know they're both really bad. All right, so CGC's market cap right here, only 700 million versus Tilray. Get down, NVIDIA. I don't know how we got missed there. I hope you guys took some of that out. I don't know. Sometimes our trades get, I don't know. 1.86 billion. Okay, so that was the answer that I was going to give you. So looking here is that Tilray's just a larger market cap, just
right.
It's double the size. Okay, there it is. We got it. Oh yeah, there's a nice move downside there for NVIDIA. That's trading there, Ramin. Right there. Nice move to the upside.
No way.
Nice move to the downside right there. So we'll take that and we'll see what happens now as we go. I have no idea why I just called out Ramin there. She clearly is not a trader. But all right, so we just have fun. All right. Yeah, so I just think CGC, a little more debt under there, a little more levered company. They've already reverse split. I think Tilray versus CGC, I would prefer to trade and hold Tilray.
Yeah.
I think they're more diversified as a company, but CGC is pretty good too. I'm just a little bit distracted here, Randy, because we are starting to get down to the downside right now. Look, we have multiple shares here, and now we're starting to cook. So this is a good position for us. We are bidding down here at 904.50, and we just stopped at 904.75. So let's see if we get a push back in right now into the bottom area here, in and around 904.50. That's where I'm bidding this monster that is known as NVIDIA. So yeah, well, what do the charts look like for you, CGC?
I'm just looking at Tilray here. Look at the week they've had. Like, come on. Like, but do they have more exposure because of the broader U.S. market and CPI and things going against them? Do they have, you said, more leverage or less leverage based on debt? Is this kind of a fake ride, or are we looking at something bigger?
I just saw people in the chat even said, maybe it's, again, not having, experimented with individual companies there. Is it possible that maybe CGC, with the move higher, just has better products?
Possibly.
It's kind of like when we look at a chart of XYZ oil company versus the other, the underlying product is oil.
Yes.
But are you manufacturing it better? Are you more efficient with your operations?
This is what I'm trying to find, because again, Tilray's had an incredible week,
Apple
even
just
a
shot
month.
up, by the
So
way.
I'm just curious as to the backstory behind them, because they've had a great run here for quite a while. So just curious.
Okay, yeah, some people saying Tilray. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should put up, why don't we put up a poll if we can do that? I have actually no idea how to do it because my account is restricted, probably something Ramin did. But we can just put it up. What do they like as an investment for the next 6 months?
That's my question to all of you
year.
on the show is why would I choose Tilray over Canopy, and what are the factors involved here? Because again, Tilray's had an amazing week, if not month, and quite a run here. But is there exposure to, again, consumer confidence and CPI and all the other factors that are sort of affecting their product sales? But it's been quite a story.
Apple just got run. Better investment next 6 months. CGC
Really?
or TLRY? Yeah, just 2. That's fine. We'll try that. Okay, so for some reason there, and honestly, we'll slap a fail. We actually don't wind up losing money. We actually wind up making money. But Apple does start to go back up to the upside. The reason why I can tell you is we didn't average back in. So when this started to come in, I mean, the 50 period is our juice. Like, that was good, man. We took it out there on the dip. We took it out, and then eventually it breaks. That's why you want to de-lever sometimes and de-risk your position. So, yeah, we did that on Apple. I still have the complaint in about this. Apparently, this is starting to happen to other people's charts as well. So I was just told, oh, you know what I could do, actually? I forgot about this.
You can reset them.
You can actually clear the cache here somewhere. Display, it's in here. Chart data.
Might cause trouble.
Where is it? Clear data right here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Look
Okay.
out.
No, it's fine. I actually don't mind. Yeah, I'm actually going to close it now. This is how much confidence I have in this software. All right,
clearing your browser
open it
cache,
back up, and now,
zoom through.
kaboom! All right, let's see what happens here. If I can zoom in and back. No, see, darn
No.
it. Yeah, see, I can't. See how I can zoom in?
I think the charting software is already on the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to say CGC. Let's see. See, this is how. Look, you're asking the exact right question. Oh, it's flat.
Really?
So no one can really make up their mind right there.
Yet.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, so that's a good one there. All right, what's everybody else trading there? Someone asked about Nikola there. Have you heard anything about those guys? Are they even still a symbol?
They
here?
are out there.
A dollar. Ooh.
I haven't heard much, if anything. I mean, you know what? They should be more on my radar, and that's my own fault. But no, I haven't heard a lot of news or anything good or bad. They're still around, which is, I guess, a good thing. But no, I haven't followed Nikola, and Sharif asked me on.
Oh, did he? Okay.
On Wednesday of this week. So I need to do some digging into them and see what's going on in their world. But yeah, they've kind of fallen off my radar. Again, they don't get the attention of, well, nobody gets the attention of Elon, but or this week Fisker because of all their mayhem. Or even some of the Chinese EVs. They're a smaller version of the big guys. But I will promise you, I will dig into them and report back next week. Does it sound good?
That sounds fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right, we had Neil back. I actually messaged. Let me check.
When's he back?
I messaged him. He messaged me back. Maybe he's traveling or whatnot. Actually, hold on. My WhatsApp's not loading. Oh, he did message me back. Oh, they're back. He's back.
He's back?
Yes, who's back? Back again. Neil's chilling out, not in Florida. We're back now. Yeah, so he's saying in hindsight, because I had asked him, I was like, dude, the game's in St. Pete's. Like, you're in Florida. You're there for spring training. Are you going to the game tonight? Because it's home opener. Season opener for the Blue Jays, home opener for Tampa Bay.
Right.
And he's down there. He was a half hour away.
Love to be.
Would have been, I think, it would have been nice for him to stay. He said he's back. So, okay, all right. I was hoping to
Welcome back, Neil.
Yeah, welcome back. And we'll be back sitting in this exact spot on Monday, as, of course, we are closed tomorrow for Good Friday. So, Good Friday to everyone out there.
Sleep in day.
Yeah, sleep in. Are you trolling me now too, or what? All right, nice move to the downside right here, 9:03. Yeah, first game tomorrow is 10 a.m., which isn't bad, but it's in Brampton, which I got to get to. All right. Neil's in Brampton. Maybe I'll go say what's up to him.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. It's 40 minutes.
We know
30
traffic.
minutes.
Tomorrow's a holiday.
That's right. The no traffic. All right.
No speeding.
Thank you,
No
Randy.
speeding.
You just kind of made my day tonight on the market recap show. Special guest Randy. No, I mean you're welcome to stay. But we will have Danielle Shea. I know you got to go. So we got
I got a couple
Danielle
things
Shea on. And we had Randy, you are going to be a guest on our podcast at some point.
Absolutely.
But we had an absolutely banger. Do we have a graphic for that? I can show a graphic for our podcast if we have one. Or
I don't have a podcast.
It's okay. But we had Kunal on yesterday. Oh, we have this one. Did you just hit it?
No.
Okay, I'll hit it. That's Travolta. We have this. Scan it. Y'all get the best podcast of the weekend happening Saturday morning. But we had Kunal Desai come through. I tweeted something out with him on it. You can look at that. No, that's the market recap show. Oh, yeah, I forgot to send it to you. Okay. No problem. Yeah, Ramin forgot to send me something. You know, the only day she forgets to send me something is the day that we're having our spat here, which we are not, by the way. That brisket, stop. Why are you calling up pictures of brisket? Like, I'm looking over to you.
We're gonna have to reconvene and have a second round of brisket.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna go.
I haven't done it at home in quite a while.
We're going. We are.
So
yeah, we're gonna take orders.
I will do some on my smoker, and I'll bring some in. I do it Texas style, salt and pepper, a little bit of mustard.
Yeah, you added some salt to today's, correct?
A little bit, not too much, but it's an hour per pound on my smoker. So if you buy a 14-pound brisket, you get the fire going in the morning, and you got to let it rest out. It's an all-day adventure. It's 16 hours. Yeah. So you get up at 4 in the morning, and you don't eat till 7 at night. Oh, it's.
And you know you've got, at the end of the day, you've got that good stuff coming
the burnt ends, and I enjoy the whole process, but again, it's a commitment. It's, like I said.
Dude, now you're talking about burnt ends and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Randy, point, flat, or packer?
Point. And then, I mean, I'll trim, and I separate the point from the flat. But I love the burnt ends.
Oh man, you got to have a good butcher, right? I mean, I do.
I have a fantastic butcher. He's awesome. AAA Angus. It's not that expensive, but
thank you, Chef Joe. Matt, appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. I love the point. Just a little more crispiness. And
you were telling me that you're all about putting in the. And NVIDIA's trying to break 905, which is pretty nice right now to the downside. So here we go. Oh, sorry, I have it up on this screen too. Here, look at NVIDIA. I just want to talk about it because I feel like I should put a bid here. But do we want to dance and see if this breaks tonight into this? 900? A little 900 action?
Hundy?
You want to see a 900?
I want to see a 911.
You guys want to see an $8 winner here? We're already 5 in the money. Do you want to put a stamp on this day? Right now.
So you're buying the next round of brisket then?
Yes, I already told you 100%. I mean, the best part about going to lunch with Randy is apparently you try to pay and this guy just pays. So thank you, Randy. Yeah, damn it, we should have got it for Ramin and all that. You know, then it would have been, you know. Yeah, next round, obviously. The reason why we're going back 100%. I mean, you know, like Neil has to go.
Oh yeah, we'll take Neil.
Yeah, like.
Sharif's going to go when he gets back.
Sharif's going to go.
He'll be gone for a while.
We're all going.
Yeah,
we're all going. Except for the guys that have to run the board over there. You know, they got to run the show.
We'll just take everybody and close the show.
Unfortunately, if you can't go, you can't get any, I guess. Yeah. You know, we'll figure that out. All right, let's dance. Let's dance with no show that day. No show that day.
No show?
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll get it for the podcast. Maybe one podcast we'll get it. We'll just have the brisket right there. It'll be like
little late afternoon snack.
Yeah. We have a lot of fun today and all day. So thank you everybody for watching. And by the way, Randy, we hit 444 today. 444,000.
Thank you everyone. That's a fantastic goal. I love it.
Let's
go.
We're trying. Okay, we're gonna go over the desk.
Brought to you by Trade Ideas. Real-time scanning and alerting used in our desk by many of our traders every day. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Check out the link in the description for 20% off.
Thank you,
Tiger on our screen.
Miss Adara. Randy just asked if I wanted a coffee, and no better of a offer have I heard. Unless you're going to go get brisket, you're going to get more brisket. All right. Oh, I got my kid's screen repaired. I was telling you about that. $70.
So this is the whole right to repair thing. We've been buying phones from Apple or Samsung.
Go get the coffee. We'll talk about it after because your mic isn't on.
Why not fix it?
Yeah. We'll talk about that. Afterwards. Okay, let's go. All right, guys, we are now only, and again, thank you so much. I mean, it does mean a lot to all of us. Where's that YouTube plaque? I'm on one right now. I want to show that. All right, so I want to thank everybody for joining and thank you for being a part of our family because we're just getting started and you definitely have found the right place. That is for sure. Thank you, Fabian, for that. I mean, this is what it's all about for us. You know, we should get like, there we go. Thank you, Fabian. We should get like a little holder here. We just put it on here, and then I knock it over. There it is. Oh, look, you can see. Oh, look at that. You see in my reflection right there. Where's Fabian? Can't see him. Where is he? There he is. Hey, yo, what up? We can make TikToks here, bro. Look at this. Look at this. What am I doing? Okay, anyway, shout out to everybody right there. Thank you so much. No love for ARM. Okay, you want to see some love for ARM, Matt Carnes? All right, let's go. All right, let's go see some ARM right now. Ooh, la la. Oh, earlier on in the day, thank you, Matt. Again, I always feel like we talked about 128. I can't believe what's going on with my daily charts right now. But we talked about 128, didn't we, earlier this morning? Coming into right there with Obi when we were battling with these NVIDIA demons, which right now, let's go, NVIDIA. You are close to making this a good afternoon again. 128 coming in. That just bounced off there right away. Nice downside move. If you're going to play short off 128, Matt, I feel like you got to cover right now too. So you're coming back into some support right now. But again, I don't want to give advice to cover when I'm the one holding NVIDIA when it's clearly at a level of support as well. So yeah, here we go. You know what? 9-0. Okay, we can cover. We can cover a part of what we have. So why don't we do that? Let's just do that. 902.75. So we don't. Oopsies. Oh yeah, we'll take that one out right now. Let's go. Yes, sir. All right, that one right there. 907.80 out 902.60. So that right there is 907 to 902. That's a $5. Put it on the board. Yes, so right there, that's an NVIDIA short. Bang, NVIDIA now going number one. So my number one stock traded today, P&L-wise, is PLTR. So Palantir, we got out right there. That was number two stock on the board today is NVIDIA. And, oh my. We had a nice trade by, unfortunately, I am not sure of this individual's name. Jag, my guy over there. My guy over there. Trophy time. Jag over there. Okay, I see you now, though. Now you're on my radar, my guy. Okay, so I don't take second place lightly. No, but I'm just joking. Good job, Jag, there. Nice. I won't talk unless you want me to tell them what you traded, but good trade there. I feel like hopefully the office starts trading more aggressively like that. Great trade, my guy over there. Perfect. Trade the setup. That's what we're talking about. Okay. All right. Good trade over there, guy. All right. What's up? Oh, Adair's over there. Okay. Randy, make it through, my guy. I got to throw it over there. Randy's back in the building, and so is Adara at the desk.
Yeah, not as many massive movers here on the S&P 500 heading into this heading out of this holiday shortened week and into this long weekend, but a couple movers to talk about. A lot of these going to be analyst names here. Estee Lauder getting a price target increase here and an upgrade from BofA Securities, up about 6% right now, so nice move up for EL. Another analyst move here for Capital One Financial, COF, up about 2.5% after getting a price target increase here from Evercore ISI. This last one we mentioned a little bit earlier, but Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA, still pretty strong here, up about 3%. They did narrow their financial guidance for 2024, specifically for earnings per share, but they had a beat across the board this morning for Q2, so nice look here for WBA, and nice look for a couple of these S&P 500 names heading into this long weekend, guys.
I can't win around here. I show this to Randy. He's like, yeah, it's a nice move. I'm like, bro, it's the high and the low.
That's, yeah.
On NVIDIA. I'm on mute.
Oh.
All right, Randy. Yeah, what I was getting at there.
Is that better?
Well, if it's off mute, it's better. My son has an iPhone 10, so it's not, it got a couple $100 off Marketplace or whatever it was or something like that. Yeah, the left side of his screen stopped working, but the screen wasn't cracked or anything like that. So I brought it into the same guy that repaired my iPad screen, and you know, worked a little cash price. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, got it repaired, and like I dropped it off immediately after the show. We walked down, got that done, and yeah, went back after the brisket. Got those steps in again after the brisket. I was on the Peloton this morning, man.
Surprised you made it there.
I was up putting in some work this morning, boy. I'm not my guy back there. Shout out to Brendan. This guy's training. Is it a half marathon or full marathon? Half marathon. So
wow.
Shout out to Brendan, man. That guy's in great shape. But anyways, let's move on. Yeah, so we went and got that repaired, and yeah, quick, easy. Cost me $70.
Right.
With a screen protector on it. Brand new screen, working fine. Hopefully it works in 2 days.
And given, again, the economy and inflation and all the things, people can't afford to go and buy a brand new, your kid drops your phone, steps on it, the dog eats it, whatever. You can't run out and afford to buy a new one. So I think the right to repair, which has been a governmental thing worldwide for, a while now, is a good idea. You know, you own a phone for what, 3, 4, 5 years or more,
Right.
and
More.
exactly. And if it still works, or if you break something that's insignificant, why not get it fixed? Like, why not?
Wait a second. Someone supposed to put something in the chat. Weren't you wearing a hoodie this morning? I thought we were supposed to be the hoodie gang.
Oh,
or was
shit.
that yesterday? Were you wearing a hoodie this morning?
I was.
Okay. No, it doesn't matter that you're not wearing one. I was just like,
somebody said I
where
lost
am
my
I
hoodie?
right now? I thought we were like, someone said, where's the hoodie?
I was getting warm, so
Yeah. All good.
I don't know.
All good. I was just thinking to myself, like, I remember we talked about it, and then
Yeah, I was chilly this morning.
No
and
worries.
Now
I was
it's
just
like
wondering if I
it's warmed up. It's all that brisket.
There you go. I get an email from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are back.
Oh, I hope,
season tickets for you.
I hope they do well this year.
Oh, I'm gonna find out. I wonder if Neil has 4 or 2 season tickets, because if he has 4,
Yeah.
I mean, why don't we just go? Me, you, Brendan.
Yep.
Not Ramin and Neil.
Ram.
I love.
Look at. Oh. You got to be careful there.
I would love to go with Ramin. That is for sure. But
You better be
we only have
careful.
4 tickets. I'll just give her mine. I'm giving her mine.
Okay. You better watch yourself.
All right, let's go. Hoodie gang. See, people like the hoodie gang.
I could go get it, but I'm too warm.
No, we should do that. So I know Neil's talked about organizing a get together for everybody. So
Yep.
I'm going to call him out on that.
I'm
when
in.
he's back here, I'm going to call him out because
I'm in.
I think that's something that's really cool. But what I think we should do, honestly, and I've organized this myself before, where you weren't there, we went bowling. So a whole bunch
Yeah, I
of us.
missed-
Fahad was there.
I missed the bowling.
Katrine was there.
Yes.
Mark was there. Hokima.
Yep.
Everybody, we were all there. We had a great time. Bowling.
I love bowling.
We were doing the double drink. Oh yeah, that's where it was.
5 pin or 10?
Fahad, it was 10, and Fahad claimed to be one of the greatest bowlers of all time, which he was definitely not. And he was facing Lucas, and there was a big battle there.
Oh yeah.
And I remember that was a lot of fun. Let's do that again. Let's either go. I'm gonna organize it. You guys want to do bowling or like a Blue Jays game? Are you coming back?
I would do. Little love notes. What's going on
This
here?
means a lot to me. No, you can't. What do you mean? Yeah, it is kind of a love note. It is kind of a love note.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way, there's a heart on this. You know, I don't need Ramin's boyfriend or whatever getting involved here. I have enough problems.
Good for you.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not bad at 10 pin.
See, now I'm all smooth and shit, you know? That's right. That's right. Secret girlfriend.
Secret.
All right. Love you, Marissa.
Not much of a secret.
All right.
anymore.
Yeah, it's not much of a secret. Yeah, especially when you call out your wife after you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
I haven't got a clue. I'm just
All right,
looking at
we're $5 we're $5 right now in the money, right here on a good trade for us on Nvidia. So we went top to bottom there, so that was a really good one. We'll see what happens here moving forward. But yeah, really, everyone's dying on the chat, so we're just having a great time here this afternoon, and this is really what it's all about, man. It's about these random fun type of things.
That's
you
what
know?
it's all about.
And yeah, that's
If
I
we're
guess
not having
why
fun, we're not
I guess
here.
this is why we can never get time off.
No.
Yeah. Oh, and with that said, we only have 4 minutes until the imbalances, and then unfortunately everyone's got me again for another half hour. But we will be joined by Miss Danielle Shea, one of the finest options and an analysts you'll find out there. Period. Me and Danielle Shea right here coming through very, very soon. Follow Miss Danielle Shea, great YouTube page and all of that. Coming out. Oh, so we always talk about Sean's tweets, but someone mentioned about NVIDIA and about pushing forward and that the sky's the limit for this company. Hard to disagree. This is SMCI, what they're projecting right now. Current right now, $7 billion. So by 2026, more than triple the $7 billion recorded all of last year. So,
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if this is just SMCI revenue. They make the server racks and
Yep.
stuff like that for all this, the high power, high
They make
energy.
servers. They've been around a long
Yeah, what is your opinion on
30 years.
SMCI?
So we actually owned SMC servers when we got started. Way back.
Way,
in the
way
day.
back.
They've been
Okay.
around forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, servers are commodity things. They're boxes with chips in them. That's all they are. But they primarily focused on the data centers. of which we have, and I help manage them. And over the years, I mean, you've got HP and Dell and all, Lenovo and IBM and everybody else that makes server gear, but they diversified and they made a lot of custom platforms for video and for broadcast, like ourselves, and they really catered to niche industries, and they did it well, and they're still going. So I really like SMC. Again, they've been around a long time. They had some strength last fall. I forget what the announcement was. I remember they had a good run last fall.
Oh yeah,
I really like
they have.
SMC.
They just got included into the S&P 500. So that was a big bump up there that I believe happened in the fall,
Right.
and just added now on the January rebalance, I believe. I mean, I can't even believe it's almost April. No, I feel like it was added in March. It was just now. So SMCI, nice move to the upside. There are rebalances today, I believe. I think it's SMCI. Is it not SMCI? Is it MSCI rebalances today? Hold on a second.
Lots of buys.
I should just yell to Brankles right now and find out if it is. I'm going to find out what the imbalances are today. Someone in the chat will probably know. I should know this. I can't even get to our Wikipedia. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so this is what's showing right now. We only have a couple minutes left.
Lots of buy.
Right now. So New York Community Bank. So I feel like there's rebalances today, and I'm just blanking on it right now. But all right. So we'll see NYCB coming through. We only have a couple minutes. This is a very risky spot to be, trading in right now because the imbalances are coming out. We'll wait to see if anything hits. We do have NASDAQ in 30 seconds. It's going to send these stocks somewhere. Let's find out where right now. But we've had a great end to our day, man. I mean, this trade was really big for us. We did go flat on Apple. We hadn't had much else going on for us right now. Apple's back in. I think that's fine.
Softy's
with only
not
20
on
seconds to go. We can look at Softy in a minute. We got out of our Palantir. Our Palantir was a banger, man. Boom. And then boom. We're happy with that. I'm glad we didn't go back long. We were sort of talking about that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get rid of broker. We only have 10 seconds to go, Randy. Then we can find out if Softy's on here. 3, 2, and 1.
Bang.
So let's go find out. We will wait to see from Adara if and when or what this number is. So here we go. A whole bunch of NASDAQ names. Do we see anything that we like? We see Sound. There's your Softy.
There it
wow,
is.
1 million to buy. This is probably
There we
shooting this
go.
name up. Yeah, look at that. A gap higher. 50 to 70 cents higher
Cisco.
on that gap.
Cisco's a sell.
Cisco, you're talking about some old technology right here, Randy. Cisco with the move down. There's New York Community Bank with a big buy. So that was already pre-known, but look at that. Still bumps up. We showed you this name down here at 320. Now it's up to 326 with a big buy behind it as well. Adara gives me a small number, which is kind of funny. 385 to buy. So I thought it would have been a little bit bigger, but I guess there's just as many sells as buys out here, and that kind of turns it, right? So I thought the Microsoft one being a $400 name would have sent that number a little bit higher. But remember, the numbers that we get and we give to you are New York only, okay? So that is not included. Microsoft's not included in there, so a little bit bigger of a move up there for Softy. But look, I almost said Adobe again because of the midday show, but Obi asked about the rebalances and whatnot. And there you can see, even though Microsoft comes out a million, it still goes up initially, and then once everyone digests, then it comes back in and starts floating around. Exactly, Randy. So that is that. Okay, yes, end of quarter. Well, I know it's the end of quarter, but I still think there are some kind of rebalances. So we'll get that all figured out there, as you can see. Let's go check out Reddit quickly, Randy.
Sure.
And then I'll pass it over to you. Yeah, Reddit is puking right now. Nice move down on RDDT. Wow, now lower. So everybody that had FOMO, shout out to Danielle Shea again, man. We talked about this. I'm going to talk to Reddit on Reddit about her, on Reddit with her.
You're going to talk to Reddit.
I'm going to talk about Reddit with her. And, coming back in, a lot of us get FOMO. Come over to the chart right here. A lot of traders get FOMO because they miss the move up, and then they're like, oh my God, I want to buy Reddit. Well, it just opened. It's here now. Where is it going? Well, you have to let that FOMO die down. So Reddit IPO down here at 46.50, I believe, or actually looks like it was 47 flat. 47 flat, making a bottom of 46.50 on day one. This is a 20-minute chart, then making a move back, ending that day down here at 46. So I feel like right now, you're right back into a level where you'd be pretty happy buying some Reddit against this bottom of 44, 45 bucks. If you like the name, no more FOMO on Reddit. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Sean.
thank you for joining today.
Anytime, pal. I want to say shout
Reddit
out.
and forget it. Go ahead, yeah.
Shout out to Lava in the chat who's asking about AI in data centers. Good question. Long topic. I could talk about this for hours, but honestly, the AI is eating up data center space and power and platforms like crazy. Look at these new GPUs that are out from the likes of NVIDIA. There's acres upon acres of chassis going into data centers. Data centers are just being consumed by AI. It's a big thing. So I only see positives for the big guys like Equinix and some of these other data centers where they're consolidating AI to a regional platform. Latency's better. Again, power efficiencies, not so much. GPUs are pretty power hungry, ask the Bitcoin miners. But honestly, it's a great play. I really like the AI move into data centers. How long it'll last? Again, there's consolidation happening. A lot of AI players out there who are doing cloud-based stuff, but clouds are in the data center. So great question. I see nothing but positive, a positive forecast for the data center providers who have to be able to deal with this. Some of them are going to have some trouble, I think, in terms of the overall amount of power and the amount of space they need to be able to provide all these AI services. We're talking the likes of Google and Apple and everybody else. Yes, Google has their own, but there's a lot of third-party companies out there who are trying, like Reddit, trying to put their own AI in place, and it's got to be housed somewhere. It's got to be powered by somebody. So I see a great play there. I really do.
All right, thanks, Lava, and thanks, Randy.
Yeah, great question.
For that, okay. Stop order going in immediately for Reddit, but we don't, or for NVIDIA. It's the only position we have on board. Yeah, good one to end the day, man. I mean, honestly, again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Are you a Cadbury cream egg guy or a mini egg guy? Did I already ask you this? Okay, mini eggs. Yeah, I think we talked about this. We talked about you getting a whole crap load of Maltesers too the other day.
Yes.
Okay, here we come into the downside right now for NVIDIA. It's 9:05.
Is it?
It's 3:55.
I'm a little bit late.
3:55 right now, and yeah, we're looking for a little bit lower here as well. So we'll watch out to see if we can get a bid here for NVIDIA. If not, we're out at 9:05. It looks like that's what it was. That's what it was, Randy. So I'm still here. The price I'm going to get out at is 9:05, not what time it is.
Okay.
Is 9:05. So that's what I meant. And there we go. So we will get out if it does break that. It looks like it's going to happen pretty soon. So let's put a bid down here in and around 9:02 in case we do get that flush. I mean, well worth it. We got this was the big out for me right there. So whatever, we'll hold it on. It's going to be the number 2 P&L stock here on the show. All shows
click on
included.
Softy?
The number 1 is going to be Palantir. Actually. NVIDIA and Palantir, depending on where I get out, will be very, very similar. You want to look at Softy?
Yeah.
All right.
Curious as to what the rebalance did to that.
Nothing, Randy, and that's
Flat.
the problem sometimes. And look at that. This is what the imbalance did. Can you tell where that number came out?
The big spike.
So you get a 200,000 share print all the way to the upside, but it was a million imbalance, right? So let's just check back to see if it's still anything there for Microsoft. So no, I don't see any imbalances here for MSFT. It's too bad you can't. Actually, you know what would be cool if there's a little search button up here? You could sort it, but you can only sort it by alphabetical. You can just sort by one of these. You can't search. So there's Amazon right there with a bid. So that's not doing too much
Intel?
to do anything. Yeah, I saw Intel. Where was that?
Right below Amazon.
Yeah, okay,
Or
dancing around. Intel's with a bid there as well. All right.
Neo.
Oh.
Sell.
All right, you know what? Forget the imbalance. There's nothing going on. All right, let's just go over to Tesla real quick. So it looks like Tesla will end the day in and around 175. Pretty bad day for them, to be honest with you, considering that the market is flat. All of us would have liked to see that Tesla take off a little bit there. And unfortunately, I'll hopefully get my daily charts working again. But Tesla's had a nice move off that bottom of 170. It got as high as almost back. Didn't we get almost back to 200 2 weeks ago, I feel like? We got to right here. Well, not 200. Oh, yeah, right into here, yeah. That was, yeah, end of February. So we got over 200. We got back to 205. So again, like holding this 180 level, but then we broke it. Now we're touching down here. We have past support back to May. Randy, I know we've talked about buying some Rivian on dips. I'm going to stay away from Tesla because this scares me a little bit. We went from right here back in 2022 of December, we went from 170 down to $100 in a month.
Yep.
We were cut down by 60% or more in 1 month, or a little bit less, in 1 month.
So we talked about it on Friday. There's headwinds coming for Tesla with competition. Number one, reduced demand. Number two, and then we have expenditures in both Mexico for the new Giga plant.
Fabian?
And we have the expenditures on the Model 2. Those are capital investments. Those are going to eat into their cash pile. Yes, Tesla has cash, but overall profits, again, demand down, the Berlin fire, lots of negativity here. Positive stuff coming. Would you still buy the dips? Yes, I would, but I guess we're waiting for positivity from the company as a whole, not from Elon. And then as far as Rivian goes, same thing. We're going to have interim production numbers in just 3.5 weeks-ish.
Yeah, so we're waiting for those.
So R2 is not on the menu, but the R1T, the R1S, and the vans are on the menu. News about the R2, I'm not expecting much. It's in the works, but I'm not expecting a miracle right now. And yes, it's Happy Easter, not Thanksgiving. I don't know why we're talking about Thanksgiving in the chat, but...
Okay, so...
Anyway.
Easter in my house generally is kind of like a mix of the ham. And... Actually, I think it's always ham.
No turkey.
Is turkey an Easter thing?
No. Well, not.
I mean, we got the lasagna. I mean, you got. I
prefer ham.
Fish.
Much prefer ham.
Fish. Yeah.
Fish?
Yeah, the Italian side's got some fish going on there.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't eat the meat on Good Friday. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, ham or...
for as strong
brisket.
Catholic as I am, of course. Okay, so we'll keep on watching that. But no, a happy Easter to everybody.
Absolutely.
To you and
happy
yours,
Easter, buddy.
Randy.
Enjoy the holiday.
Oh, shoot. All right, I got to go. I mean, I have another show in a couple minutes. 30 seconds.
Smell you later.
See ya. Happy Easter.
I have to press a button here or anything, or what?
You got to hit the countdown button, but...
Where's the
I still
countdown
gotta
button?
log out. I mean, this is a...
Oh, there's the countdown button. When do I hit it?
I muted myself and I'm still talking, so I'm going to mute myself now.
Should I hit the button?
You do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. Okay, everybody, enjoy the weekend. Countdown. I don't know when it is. I just hit the button.
It's way early.
Is it close? 2, 1. We got it, I think. Anyway, yeah, enjoy your weekend, folks. Happy Easter. And we'll see you on Monday. And now we have Sean with the podcast, and he's getting ready, sort of. Anyway, see ya.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the recap show. You know what? I don't have Stream Deck open again, but last time I tried to open this, it was a complete nightmare. All right, so yeah, I opened it again, and it was a nightmare again here for Stream Deck. How do I get my windows over here? Oh, no. Alt. Okay, come over here, Fabian. Welcome to the recap show. I don't have the right screens on here, Ramin, by the way. Fabian. How do I flip this over? Alt, print screen. Oh no, I need to get to my other. Maybe I don't have a problem after all. Thank you, Ramin. But you see how Stream Deck's not loaded on this profile? That's the problem. Okay, we'll figure it out after. Just when Danielle comes, we got to go to her. All right, thank you, everybody. We are now organized. Wow, what a day. We covered that NVIDIA there at the end. Need to have this in my ear. We don't have a whole bunch of earnings laid out for you to do, but we do have Miss Danielle Shea coming through. We did have Walgreens today. We'll talk a little bit about that. And if you want to put up the topics, we'll get that going as well right now immediately. There it is. It's the sector recap, so let's get going on that right now. All right, again, thank you so much for watching. I'll get the chat loaded up in just a couple minutes. We had some big moves today in UNG, up 1.5%. That's going to be the largest take today. On the sell side of things, not too many down here. XLY, the consumer discretionary leading to the downside. We talked about a big part of that is Tesla, so a nice move down today for Tesla. And I mean, as far as indexes are concerned, China with a little bit of a better day today, up that 1.05%. Again, some good talk about some of the AI availabilities there in China. We know that Apple was going to use, was it Baidu's AI there? So that could be something that, helps China get going a little bit. Just on the daily chart though, FXI still above a decent level. XLF with a nice move today, up 0.55. Look at this, man. I remember at the beginning of the year, and Sharif was involved and talked about trying to find something that was breaking out. The financials, a little bit of a different light. The financials have been, I don't even have to wear this hat maybe, have been hot fire, this year. So nice move to the upside. I mean, a lot of people want to talk about crypto, so let's do that right now as well. I mean, Bitcoin today, really on fire. Nice move to the upside again today. Trying to hold out for this 71 and change. I mean, I like crypto here. Just putting in an hour chart, we did bounce off again, 68, 69. So we did break through 70. Be interesting to see how this does trade into the weekend again. For anybody that's on those ETFs like I am, the problem with that is now you can't get out of these trades for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got to wait early Monday when the NASDAQ opens up, or you get out now in the aftermarket. But that's the one downside for me anyways when we talk about crypto, and that is with the ETFs, is the fact that you have to, unfortunately, hold them over the weekend if you are in the stock. All right, I've got this all loaded up right now. Thank you to everybody for joining. Hey, we still have this up here, CGC or Tilray. We'll vote CGC again on that one. So thank you to everybody. I'm just going to dismiss this. So thank you to everybody that's here with us right now. Over 2,600 watching on this early weekend. So traders, stay late. I want to thank all of you for staying with me again. We'll do roll call very, very soon as we get ready to have Danielle Shea come through. So not too many earnings today to talk about. We did have Walgreens, Boots Alliance come through. And we'll talk more about some of the sectors. There wasn't too much going on. The cannabis sector took a little bit of a breather today. We can check out MSOS before we go over that. So there you go. Down 1.4%. Again, a nice move to the upside. And again, it sort of goes to talking about CGC versus Tilray. Huge move up for CGC lately. But we talked about this yesterday when someone asked me and they gave a super chat or something about what are we doing with CGC? Well, honestly, you're just right back into this $10 level. And we indicated that that was probably an out for many of us. So coming right back in, let's close this for a little bit. That's the 1 minute chart. Right into there, $10. When you get a push like this in 1 month, like 1 month, 2 weeks, from $3 to $10, honestly, on nothing other than, I mean, let's call it what it is. It's really just a rumor until something goes through. They're trying to get it converted over, a different schedule for narcotic on marijuana versus the rest. So we'll see if that can come in. I believe it will happen. There are more states starting to legalize as we speak. And then we did get a big push in Germany as well. Oh no, I was gonna try to grab a water, but I did forget about that. So maybe we'll grab that because the lights shine bright over here. Appreciate it, Fabian. All right, so there we go. Nice little move to the upside there. $10 and change for CGC. Let's have a quick look at Tilray today. And again, the similar move, right? $1.60 up to $2.40. So it's a double, but still a beautiful move. Not even a double, my bad. $1.60 up to $2.60. So Tilray not as exciting as CGC. Maybe a more solid company. As you see, it doesn't have the huge swings. Nice move up for Tilray. Either way, you're right back to September highs. No pun intended on that one. We had a good trade on NVIDIA at the end of the day. I don't know if this name's rolling over or not. I actually get the feeling that technically we are not rolling over at all on NVIDIA. I want to buy the dips. I still feel like this name is pretty strong to come in here on NVIDIA. So, oops, that's Prosper Pro. We don't need to, I'm going to try to log into this. But I don't know if NVIDIA is, and should we be buying NVIDIA down here, Amin, or what? What do you think? You like these levels down here? Stunning, absolutely stunning. Therefore, NVIDIA. So we'll have a look at that, a very interesting level. Sorry, I'm trying to log in now so I can show you some of the hot fire trades that we had on NVIDIA. We could have done better on NVIDIA, by the way, today, but it was the P&L #1 stock on the show here. This is the problem. We had Randy filling in. I want to thank Randy, but I didn't give myself enough time to run over here and start to log in everywhere. Let's check in to see. We don't do this enough, I feel like. Do whatever I want to do. Let's go compare profits. Let's see who made the most money yesterday here at Real Trading. Shout out to Hydration Nation and all my people out there. That's rocking with us. Look, we're doing this, man. CNBC has some old guy on talking about something. Oh, we have an old guy on too. What's up? All right, so here we go. Yesterday, actually not too exciting, actually. We're expecting bigger numbers. I don't know. This is not that good. Well, it's okay. $6,000 yesterday for the TSX is the #1 trader. We're normally in like 5 digits here. So a little disappointed in these numbers. Again, this is from Real Trading. And then we had one trader yesterday somewhere in the company make $5,000 on both Amex, NASDAQ, and New York. $3,000, $3,000, $3,000 all the way down. Then some random markets. Oh, shout out to CSE right there, coming through with 1,400, and then someone in Hong Kong at $1,000. So we talked about this on the podcast, and this is not just because those numbers aren't that huge. You got to trade whatever the day gives you, and honestly, it's like instead of posting every day, I made $10,000, I made $5,000, then you don't hear from the guy in a week. It's probably because he put up horrible numbers. That's not what we're about. We publish these numbers for anybody to see. So if you're part of Real Trading, you can go in and see those numbers and talk to your trading development team in order to get those numbers and find out where those are. I'm going to call up realtrading.com right now because quite frankly, we do not do that enough on this show. So here we go right now. This is the prop firm that I'm working for. It's Real Trading. Over $3 billion worth of trades, 400 million shares, 50 plus markets, and over 3,000 traders, both included in that would be sim mode and real mode. So shout out to Real Trading. If you are located, unfortunately, anywhere other than the United States, you can become a member of that team right there, and scan the QR code on your screen right now to become a part of that and get some more information. And hey, even if you are in the United States, just say, hey, what's up? I saw this on Trader TV Live and I'm interested. Potentially change is coming. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what's going on. All right. So I did want to talk about something because we did have an earnings play today and it's Walgreens. I'm going to throw over to another chart here and go to a 1 minute chart. I'm going to throw this into a 5 minute so we can have another quick look at this. So today we had Walgreens come out, and again, it was on our watch list. So a big note today was that they actually, I'm just double checking because I thought they beat on top and the bottom right here on Walgreens. So let's just pull this over here and have a quick look. So here's Walgreens Boots Alliance, trading lower in the pre-market, adjusted forecast 2024 downwards. Right, so that's what it was. So they did beat top and bottom line on Walgreens. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because of how messed up trading earnings can be. All right, so let me actually go into now, let's go into a 2 minute chart, just so we can even show you how dramatic this is. So here's the market open up. We're all the way down, we're near the bottom, right? So they guide a little bit lower, but they had a good quarter. So that's kind of like, we've been playing off the guide more than the actual quarter. Look at Pan W, look at some of these big growth names, right? We'll give Walgreens Boots Alliance what's up with that? Because it goes from $20 immediately to the upside into 22 here for Walgreens, basically back to the pre-market highs. And then within the first 4 minutes, it retraces all the way back down into the pre-market levels again, and then just starts to trend all the way back up. So for me, when you're looking at a play like this, unless you have some sort of levels that you're looking at, and we can go back over to a daily chart, like, I mean, playing the bottom here in Walgreens, maybe something $20, $21, fine. But I don't know how you know that that's going to be the top up there at 23 or whatever that number is. So you play that, a little bit of a tricky play right off the open, which just leads me to tell you guys, that's why on earnings, I don't actually like to play them right off the jump. You got to wait for a pullback into VWAP, wait for a pullback somewhere. But right now, Walgreens, nice move up, and then a fade right back down in. So unfortunately for next week, we don't have too many big earnings reports at all next week. The big one that's on my mind, though, we have Levi's coming through next Wednesday after the bell. So if Danielle's here right now, I know she's going to have some other ideas on her mind, and we'll get to those. But I'm going to ask very nicely her to look at Levi, because look at the name, this name here from the beginning of the year. What an absolute monster. We can drop an anchor down here from the beginning of, let's go from this bottom. Let's go from this bottom. So, I mean, you're nowhere near the anchored VWAP. That pullback is 1725. But Levi Strauss coming out next week, Could be a big one. Consensus EPS of 20 cents looks to be in line. They should be able to beat 44 cents versus 42 cents. I'm just reading some of their last reports. A couple upgrades coming through on Levi's. Nice move up here. Let me just look at a weekly chart for these for this name. Again, this is why we look at this, right? 12% short float. Levi looking to break out. So I think this is a name that should be on everybody's radar. We did the podcast last night. We talked about a name like Wayfair possibly breaking out again. Kunal gave us that. So Kunal Desai on our podcast last night. That was a great opportunity to hear more about him. He talked about Wayfair possibly breaking out. We like IWM breaking higher as well. So this is a play here, trying to break higher. Well, guess what? I'm adding right now Levi Strauss to the game. I think this is about to break. Looks like if we can get a good quarter, $30 is not out of the question. A short float involved here. More people wearing jeans, I feel like. Why not? Ramin showing me that she is wearing 2 pairs of Levi, both pant and shirt. Better known as, see you, Adara. Have a great weekend and happy Easter to you. Better known as a Canadian tuxedo. Did you know that, Ramin? Yeah, she knows that. But there you go, Levi. So, hey, look, if someone as cool as Ramin is wearing Levi, and I say that actually being the truth because it's these kids these days, you know, it's whatever's hot. Like you can really see that we've had a big move up in a lot of different things that have been sort of trendy as of late, as you guys know. You can even just look at something like Bitcoin that starts going. Look at Reddit, the hype behind that when they get behind it. We've seen GameStop and AMC that get behind those kind of names. Recent IBOs like Kava, Birkenstock, whatever. Let me check out Birkenstock. That was one that was holding well, right? And then Birkenstock right now, is Birkenstock's not cool anymore? And she's wearing Birks. Hello. But yeah, look at this, man. Another good report for Birkenstock up on the IPO. So there you go. So another good one. Levi's with Birkenstock, the spring attire around here for Toronto. So I do not have my Trader Talk thing. If Danielle is ready, then I am ready to speak with her. Hello, Miss Danielle Shea. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. We had a great day. I had, by the way, oh my God, I don't know if you saw my Twitter, but I immediately thought of you and where you're from and various aspects like that. Me and Randy today went and got brisket. And the brisket, it was a very popular place here in Toronto. This is what it looked like. It's onions, it's brisket, and it was absolutely fabulous. You being Kansas City, Texas, I guess I don't have to talk about barbecue with you.
You know, I love barbecue, and during the pandemic, my number one hobby that I took up was learning how to smoke meat. And so I love making brisket, ribs, pork shoulder, all of the above.
Damn, you know what my wife got involved with? I think everybody had this sourdough. Like everybody was making loaves of bread. I wish she would have learned about smoking as well, but that would have been really cool. So what's your favorite smoked meat?
I love brisket.
Okay, there we go. Bang. We like that as well. All right, Miss Shea, what a great day it is around here. Happy Easter to you and yours. I don't like when we get a day off, but we'll take a day off tomorrow. I'm pretty exhausted. How's your schedule been lately?
Oh, it's been crazy. And you know what? I'm going to have to miss you guys next week because I'm having some construction done at my house. So I'm going to miss you for maybe a week or two, but I'll be back.
I mean, I'm in a good mood and everything's good. Me and Ramin made up. I mean, we got lots of good stuff happening. And then you dropping this bomb on me. It's probably in the schedule. You probably already told me, but shout out to you, Danielle Shea. So let's kill it then today. Why don't we do that as we'll be missing you next week? Okay, I was talking about Levi Strauss there. I don't know if you had any information on that, but we always talk about plays leading into earnings. So I'm giving you one here for next week. It looks like it's on fire and looking to break some of those levels. What does it look like on your screens?
So, you know, I love that you picked this one out. I like the chart. I think that it looks great. You know, you had this big move higher post earnings, even though it initially gapped down. So I like to see that. I like to see the high volume coming in. I love how it closed out on the highs. It has a daily squeeze and it also has short floats. So anytime you have something that is closing out on the highs like this, and also has short float. Let me just get the number there for you. It's about 12%. So that's enough to get a little bit of a short squeeze. And because it's broken up through recent highs, that's where you have those short sellers that are buying to cover. So I like it. It makes sense for a long into earnings. Whether or not it's actually going to do well on earnings is another thing, because it's gapped down the last 4 quarters in a row.
It reminds me of this trade that you and I had as well. We had this Affirm trade. Come over to my screen right here. And we had, these kind of breakouts where we had, bluer skies or, ahead, greener pastures. And that went with a similar short float, took that level out and went all the way to 50. So I'm seeing things like that in our sites for Affirm. Okay, I saw you post up, and again, I got to give you a big shout out, because at Trader Danielle, both on YouTube and on X, you've had some great videos. And did I see something on Reddit or some IPOs that you might have posted up?
Yeah, I did. So this is my YouTube channel right here at Trader Danielle. I posted the YouTube video on Twitter, actually, though. So I was talking about IPOs, Reddit. Everybody wants to know how to trade these IPOs. And so I did a session covering that today. And I also talked about ARM, because I think there's a pretty good setup in that one right now.
All right, yeah, actually, I was a little bit upset just as a day trader today that we talked about this 128 level for a short on ARM, and it was just because if we sort of scroll back out here, if and when, I've had a very much of a love-hate relationship with charts today. I don't know if you've ever had those situations where it's like some days everything's working great and other days is like, where am I? And I feel like I just switched desks and I still can't figure things out. But okay, come back over here quickly. I like this 128 level, and I just feel like, who's over there? Fabian, hey, what's up, my guy? I feel like this 128 level, I should have been short right there. So are you going to tell me that was a missed opportunity? Or are we going to get 128 again? You like the long or short, Miss Danielle?
So for me as a swing trader, I like the long here. I mean, obviously you could have shorted it on that little bit of a pullback, but I like the strength. I like the way that it's traded really well post earnings, 2 quarters in a row. With an IPO, you really need to have a couple months of data. And now we have that, right? And at this point, you can see that there was a lot of hype. It's pulled back. It's consolidating again. We've got a squeeze. And so I think that it's setting up for the next run higher. So I think you're going to be able to trade it up into 150, 160 when this consolidation breaks out.
Okay, so there's been some questions in the chat. Maybe we'll go over those, but I want to get to anything that you may have as well. No, I really like that ARM trade building up down here at 125. I think that looks fantastic. And again, is May 8th too far to start worrying about their earnings now, or would you like to get positioned maybe for a long now, or is May 8th just too far out?
So it's not too far. It's a little far out, but it's not too far out. So this is my tool. It's called the Earnings Hot Zone. It basically draws levels on here so you can see once you're getting closer to that earnings report. Okay. And so this has basically drawn a level on April 9th. So it's showing you that that's when you're about 21 bars away from that earnings report. And so I generally try to take entries. It's not that exact day, right? It's around this zone, but I like to do it when they're pulled back and when they're consolidating. So sometimes it's a little bit earlier. I think Microsoft is a great example, because this one is one where you might have thought, well, it's a little bit early before the earnings report. You have the earnings report here, but when it's pulling back and when it's consolidating, even if it's a little bit earlier, you're going to get a much better entry than waiting until you're closer to earnings if it's already made a high.
Yeah, for me, look, all that makes a lot of sense. So we'll mark that 21 days. Just the market's been so volatile. I just wonder if you put something on and it starts to go against you, but you still don't mind the position, you could always average in. Is there a time where potentially it's too late? Is there a spot where you say, you know what, I'm now just gambling really, and potentially I don't want to average into any of those positions? I know options can be very binary, right? You could lose it all if you get in too early and potentially cover. Have you ever covered before an earnings report because it just kind of fell apart?
Oh, definitely. So, that'll happen sometimes where, you have a strong stock and for whatever reason, maybe news hits, or sometimes with the recent bear market, the market will just turn on you and everything rolls over. And so that can definitely happen, but it's just important to have your stop zones in mind. So I think with ARM, you have a pretty critical area of support that comes in really between 120, 125. Depending on where I got in, I may give it down into the 50 simple at 115. But I think if you got in here, you could have a pretty tight stop at 120 for a swing trade. And then if you wanted to wait for a deeper pullback, the 50 simple, if you get that.
A lot of people, really, really loving all this content. I want to thank you, Ms. Danielle Shea. But before we go on about stocks, because, stocks are fun and everything, I want to know, did you plant anything yet? You got any animals running around? What's going on over there?
Man, I have a lot of work with my 2 kids right now. And so I haven't even had time to get the animals going. I did.
Put your worst half to work over there. He's got to start planning for you. You know what I mean? Get some plants out there, get some trees. Promise me you put a fig tree at some point when you get some time.
So we have some apple trees and I have blueberries and I just got a bunch of lettuce and that's what I'm going to plant first.
Lettuce.
But that's all the progress that I've made so far.
Yeah, I'm like a romaine lettuce kind of guy. I like romaine lettuce, so I think you put that in there. Watch out, man. That stuff grows like weeds. If you got to watch. You know what the thing about lettuce is? You get those little no, not the heart. That was the best part. Those little worms or the grubs or whatever in there. We get them here anyways. Maybe you don't get them there. Be careful with those. Okay, what name do you want to talk about? I thought I saw Eli Lilly on your screen. Is there something you want to go? I'm going to see if the audience has a question though, but anything you want to talk about before I maybe open it up?
Yeah, so I'll show you guys my Eli Lilly setup. So when you're looking at tickers that are trading into earnings, I'll get this criticism sometimes when people say, well, that's crazy. It's already moved so much. And that is true. So I'm not going to tell you this isn't an aggressive setup because it is. But as a short-term trader, when you're looking for something that has momentum, like this fits the bill. And that's because you have a stock that's gapped up 4 quarters in a row after earnings. And now that you're getting right into that pre-earnings time frame, that's the time where people are looking at it and they're saying, oh man, it's gapped up 4 quarters in a row and it's consolidating and it's right near that previous high. And so all it needs is just a little bit of a catalyst, and especially something like Eli Lilly, it has news coming out all the time. So, you never know when it's going to happen, but that there's a setup there and there's decent upside potential too, because it's trading at 777. And I think you could pretty easily trade it back up into 800. But above that, you have higher price targets at 820 and 850. So I like this one. It's got earnings coming up. It's also separate from the whole tech AI thing. So, we're seeing a little bit of weakness in the NASDAQ right now. And
I believe Eli Lilly now.
I doubt it's going to stay, but it's a little bit separate, No,
I think, it has that momentum behind it. All you're looking for is catalysts. We have those GLP-1 drugs. And honestly, I feel like that's a great call because in their conference call, they may increase their total addressable market because they have a couple other drugs that they're looking for as well. Okay, so the question I have for you that does come from the chat, and this is going to be right up your alley. I think all stocks you could probably handle pretty good here. What about Reddit? So, this is going to be a name that's well traded in our community here because, again, because of the moves, it's pretty aggressive. It's only now a $50 name. That hype, you and I on the show, we always talk about this. You're always going to get a chance to buy IPOs. You don't have to run into anything. I think you and I gave that advice last week. I think it was when Reddit might have IPO'd when you were with me last week on the 21st, potentially. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, so we talked about not getting too carried away with names like that. Now Reddit pushes back into some of these levels. From an option standpoint, I know the interesting thing about Reddit is they did something like they were 30th on the Russell 1000 on their very first day of optionality. That was monstrous, created some nice volume spikes in Reddit, really got the retail community back going. So my question to you is, what are we doing with Reddit? Is there a specific trade that maybe you like with it basically pulling back into right now IPO levels? They IPO'd at 46. We're looking at 49 right now.
Yeah, so I mean, like we talked about last week, it's important, I think, to not buy it the very first week. I mean, you can see that it rallied all the way up into 75, and that, if you bought it there, you're already down quite a bit. So you have to keep in mind that always happens, right? And so if you want to buy the shares, it's generally better to wait a couple weeks. But one thing that you can do specifically in the options market, because I always have people that say, you know what, I don't care. I know it's moving. This is a long-term hold. I want to buy it. How can I do it? So instead of just buying the shares, I mean, if you want to come in and use options, you can sell the premium in here, because the thing about this is that it has 115% implied volatility. This is pretty similar to DJT also. Actually, that one's even better. But you can come in here and you can sell, for example, the 45 puts, and you can sell those for $2.20. And, if Reddit does go down below 45, you may get put the shares, but you collected $2, so it reduced your cost basis.
Okay.
And if it doesn't go down below that, then you collected, $2 per contract. So that's something that I used to do on DWAC. I was just selling those puts on it every week. And then, I don't know, I think maybe after like 4 or 5 weeks, I finally got assigned the shares. And then once I had the shares, then I started selling covered calls against it.
So never ending loop.
Yeah. So for something like this, I do think that it's pretty hard to determine the direction, because, it's brand new. And so I would prefer to have more time before I can make a directional determination on it. But with these kind of IPO stocks, and especially DJT, I was actually looking at this one today for that strategy. It just has so much premium in it in the options market. And so that's definitely a strategy that you can employ. Like if you sold DJT, you get like $500 of premium on this.
Yeah, and all you'd have to worry is that it doesn't hit that 58. And what is that? So that's next week, April 5th? Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
so the thing with it is you would only want to do that if you were comfortable taking assignment on the shares, because it's such a crazy name that, it could hit it. So, but I mean, even something like this, you could sell the 58 puts for about $5, and let's say it fell a little bit, or it stayed exactly where it was. You could buy those back for a 50% gain and then just do it again the next week. Do it again the next week.
You could go both ways with it. I mean, depending on whichever way you wanted to. So the last question I have for you, Danielle, before I let you go, we could talk forever. First of all, we're going to have to go on a brisket date at some point, so that's going to happen. The second point is here, I have a great question from my guy, or from Samir here in the chat. Please ask Danielle Shea how we can sign up for her classes. So I don't know what you have available or what's going on, so I'm going to open the floor up to you. We always promote your different channels, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that right now.
Yeah, sure. So, I don't teach classes very frequently. I don't know if I'm going to teach one this year or not, but you can find all of my classes that I've taught in the past on my free newsletter. So if you go to 5startrader.com, this is my free newsletter. It's my blog. I write twice a week. This is where I send out my YouTube videos. And on here, actually, if you sign up, you get a free options 101 class. Boom. So that's something you can get for free. So if you sign up right here, you subscribe. And then all of my paid classes, they're right in this education section. So I have all kinds of classes. I've taught, introduction to options. I've taught just overall, selling put credit spreads. I have classes on butterflies, classes on earnings. So you can find all this right here at 5startrader.com.
Amazing, Ms. Danielle Shea. And I also want to come over to my screen. I want to show you something. I want to thank you for this as well. Look at this, everybody watching. Over 2,000 people watching right now. Ms. Danielle, we hit 444,000 subscribers, and you've been here for quite a while. So I want to thank you for helping us get to that level for sure. Ms. Danielle Shea, go find her. Happy Easter to you and yours, and thank you for putting up with me from all this time.
Thank you. You guys are the best. I always look forward to joining the show, and I'll miss you next week.
Thank you, Ms. Shea. Take care. All right. I should have asked her to stay in the chat, but if we're lucky enough, maybe she'll stay in there and you guys can ask her questions. But the one thing I have to tell you all is, which camera? I'm out of here. It's 4:32, baby. We're on a long weekend mode. We've been on a long weekend mode pretty much all day. So I'm just going to show you a couple things here today. The one thing that we did have on board at the end of the day was a banger NVIDIA trade. We trade that a lot today. It's going to be the #1 stock that we did trade today. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. That brisket right now. Yo, what up, Sam Bankman right there? 25 years for Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried. What else did I tweet today? We tweeted, oh, yeah. Actually, you know, in the most, forget about NVIDIA trade. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. We took, I think, $12 net on that today. Bang, I don't have my thing up. All right, look at this. Apparently, I mean, we have OK Boomer all the time, thanks to these two guys over here. But you know what I'm noticing here is this. Shout out to Heineken. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I know, I'll wrap the show up. We're 2 minutes over. But look at this. I wonder what everybody was thinking about this. This is on my Twitter account right now. I like Modelo. So I wonder if this is, Modelo, a lot of, I know, yeah, pricey. Well, you got a lot of Coronas in here as well. I'm wondering if this is more of like a down south survey here. This is Americans' favorite beer brand by generation. So I'm Gen X, by the way, so we're going to see what's happening right here. I said out of this whole list here, I mean, if I'm at a bar, I know my guy Brendan over there loves his Guinness, so that's a win right there. I'm like a Heineken or a Stella kind of guy, but I do love Coronas. With baseball season starting, you know, I said already today, what better, what's going on over here? Yeah, right. What is... Have a beer, man. Enjoy the game. Have any beverage you want, but it's baseball season. There's nothing better than sitting in those bleachers with some friends or family, enjoying a beer and trying to sit through a baseball game. There is no Molson on here. This is Americans' favorite beer company. So you're going to have Budweiser. Yo, dude, pass me a Bud. Right now. Yo, this Bud's for you, dude. Right there. So right there, that Miller, Highlight and all that. I better go before somehow I get canceled. All right. Thank you to everybody, man. I'm Sean Catino. Go follow me at Trader TV Sean, and thank you for making this one of the best shows on YouTube. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. Happy Easter to you and yours. Give your family the biggest hug when you see them. I'm Sean Catino. I'll catch you guys Monday.